हाँ बेटे। कौन सा वाला? द लाइट। हाँ। अच्छा ठीक है, वंडरफुल वंडरफुल। अच्छा, give me a minute. I will just share it. अच्छा, is विधान there? अच्छा, विधान को एक बार बोल देना। पहले देयर वाज अ कंफ्यूजन कि मुकेश सर करेंगे नहीं करेंगे ज्वाइन। अब मुकेश सर ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं। ओके ठीक। ऑलराइट, प्लीज बता दो। हटवा दो सर की वो है ये सर की।
मैम am I audible?
Yes, बेटे। बस अभी तो सिर्फ एक पिक्चर ही लगा दो उस पे, अदरवाइज व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग विल बी हर्ड।
मैम स्क्रिप्ट में मैंने आपका पार्ट लगा दिया है वहाँ पे।
स्क्रिप्ट कहाँ पे है तुमने?
एक गूगल डॉक है मैम, मैं दोबारा आपको फॉरवर्ड कर देता हूँ।
व्हाट्सएप पे उसका लिंक शेयर करो।
मैम हाईलाइटेड पार्ट है आपकी वाली।
डे टू तुमने अलग से करा है?
यस मैम।
नहीं, एक मिनट रुको, नीचे है ना तुम्हारा। डे क्लोजिंग डे 1 हो गया। वी आर ऑन। तुम स्टार्ट कैसे करोगे ये बताओ, बाकी तो मैं बोल दूंगी।
मैम स्टार्ट तो day one was this and the speakers came, वो भी लिखी हुई है वहीं पे, and
Day one of Big Bharat Surakshit Digital Bharat hosted by TPS Market or whatever. The event was graced by eminent personalities including guest of honor Brigadier Manoj Mohan ji and chief guest. तो पहले chief guest का नाम लिखना है हमेशा, because वो प्रोटोकॉल में भी आगे है ना उनसे। By the chief guest and the guest of honor. and the guest of honor this whose distinguished service and strategies insighted and inspired the audience. Okay, the day featured expert sessions by leading figures in Indian cyber defense ecosystem, so on and so forth. Adding to the impact, we are engaging cyber story demonstrations on ransomware in this with participation of 10 states and support from India. And the event is reflected. The day concluded with this. Today's theme, cyber awareness. Let's join. Okay, we are honored to have today's guest of honor, former IPS and the honorable retired DGP of this Om Prakash Singh. ठीक है बस जब तुम ये बोलोगे ना सर का then I will going to start. Fine. ठीक है
A warm good morning to everyone. Welcome back to day 2 of our collective journey towards cyber awareness. Day 1 of Ek Bharat Surakshit Digital Bharat, hosted by TPS Arkepuram, marked a prestigious and impactful beginning to its first of its kind national initiative on cybersecurity and digital awareness. This event was graced by eminent personalities, including Chief Guest Major General G. Bakshi, retired, and the Guest of Honor, Brigadier Manoj Mohan, retired, whose distinguished service and strategic insights inspired the audience. The next day featured expert sessions by leading figures in India's cyber defense ecosystem: Nishant Kumar, Director I4C, Ministry of Home Affairs, on emerging cybercrime trends, and IPS Aishwarya Dongre, Deputy Director of I4C, on online safety for women and children. Dr. Om Pal, University of Delhi, and Safe Qubit, on student-centric cyber risks, and Dipanshu Sharma on the rise of deepfakes and AI-driven threats. Adding to this impact, we were having engaging CyberX student demonstrations on ransomware and offset, creatively presented through skits, with participation from schools across 10 states and support from Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, I4C, and Ministry of Home Affairs. The day concluded with the formation of interstate teams, setting the stage for innovation, collaboration, and action towards a digital, safer India. Today's theme, cyber awareness through unity and diversity, reminds us that while our background may differ, our responsibility towards digital safety is shared. Let us continue this journey with enthusiasm as well as purpose. Today, everyone, we are honored to have today's guest of honor, former IPS and the Honorable retired DGP of the UP Police, Shri Om Prakash Singh.
Very good morning, sir. As a CyberX Club in charge, it is my privilege to introduce and welcome Shri Om Prakash Singh ji, a distinguished former Indian Police Service officer of the 1983 batch, UP cadre. Over the course of his illustrious career, he has served several key leadership positions, including as the Director General of the Central Industrial Security Force (CISF) and the Director General of the National Disaster Response Force (NDRF). He is a recipient of the Police Medal of Gallantry and the President's Police Medal for Distinguished Service, a reflection of his exceptional service and commitment to the nation. Currently, serving as the President of the Indian Police Foundation, Shri Om Prakash Singh ji continues to contribute significantly in the areas of internal security, disaster management, and policing, and has played a vital role in strengthening national security frameworks and institutional governance. Third, we are deeply honored by your gracious presence with us today. At this juncture, I would most respectfully request our Vice Principal, Mr. Mukesh Kumar, to kindly welcome Shri Om Prakash Singh ji. Mukesh sir, are you there?
So you're muted. Mukesh, sir, you're muted.
Thank you, Sarika. On behalf of Delhi Public School, Arkepuram, I, as a Vice Principal, on behalf of the entire school, our Principal, warmly welcome Shri Om Prakash, OP Singh ji to this cyber awareness program. I am sure your presence in this particular session will add extraordinary value and will be very, very beneficial for the next generation to take care of the cyber hygiene very well. Thank you very much, Cyber X Club, for organizing this program, and thank you very much, OP Singh ji, for accepting our invitation for this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. May we request Om Prakash ji, sir, to share his experiences with the children and the teachers.
Good morning to everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. First of all, let me express my gratitude to Mr. Mukesh Kumar, Vice Principal of DBS, Ms. Monica Bansal, Ms. Sarika, and all the students present here, and the whole DBS Parivar, and students coming from all parts of the country. It's indeed a privilege for me to be here, and I extend my heartfelt gratitude to everyone for all those who have tirelessly organized this meaningful initiative called Ek Bharat Surakshit Digital Bharat. Friends, in an era where digital world shapes our lives as profoundly as the physical world, such efforts to create awareness, particularly amongst the students, responsibility, as well as resilience among all our young, brilliant minds, it is very, very timely and essential. And I definitely congratulate and commend my organizers here for bringing together this important dialogue and for nurturing a culture of informed as well as safe digital environment. I have been a police officer for the last 37 years, and I have been dealing with such cyber crimes as well as criminals of this nature. Certainly the scope, scale and intensity have increased over the years. But I would like to begin by saying to all my dear friends, students, that today your playground is not just school or home, it's also the digital world. Because you study, you play, you chat, you express yourself extensively online. But just like the real world, the internet too has many risks. And my purpose here to introduce the subject just for 10 or 15 minutes is not to scare you, but to empower you. The first thing that comes to our mind is that why is it necessary to create awareness amongst the students or the young minds? Friends, I tell you one thing, that in this today's world, children are growing up not just in homes and schools, as I said it before, but also in a vast and unregulated digital environment. You might see that we have a population of 1.4 billion people. India is a country with 1.4 billion people, and we are witnessing a growing trend of online transactions with the increasing accessibility of internet as well as of digital devices. And you will be surprised to know that more than 900 million connections are there in our country, out of which 96% are being used by the age group of 16 to 64. That means all segments of the population are being represented as a user. And there are 470 million social media users. So you can see the vastness of this digital world. And that is why the creating awareness is very, very important, particularly among the students, because they are using smartphones, they are using online classes, they are using gaming platforms as well as social media. And all these things have become an integral part of our daily lives. So I say that this early and often unsupervised, I call it as unsupervised because your experts will be talking about many things, about spoofing, about gaming, about so many things you will come across, not only the cyber crimes, but also about the online sexual abuse. So all these expose all the children sitting here and elsewhere, they are really vulnerable to cyber crimes. And I feel, as a senior citizen, I feel that children lack emotional maturity and experience to distinguish between two different things. One is genuine interactions, and the second is deceptive interactions. And cyber criminals, they try to exploit this innocence of yours through various things, through frauds, through fake identities, through psychological manipulations, and so many things. Therefore, it's very essential to create awareness, because from phishing scams, from gaming frauds, to more serious threats like cyber crimes of the nature of online grooming or online sexual abuse, risks are really, really increasing. Now let me introduce the subject. I would like to say that have you ever received a message saying you have won a lottery or click this link to get a reward? Actually, this is something very, very common these days. But these are the cyber frauds, and they are increasing rapidly in India. Common types that you come across is that you have the OTP fraud. Someone calls you and tries to pretend to be from a bank or from somewhere and asks for an OTP. Then you have the UPI, or what you call the payment app scam, which is the fake payment requests. Then you have the gaming and gift scams. You have the free coins, you have skins or rewards. And you have also, as you're a student of some type, you will be seeking for a job after your technical and professional degree. Then you have the fake job scholarship officers. So the golden rule, my friends, that no genuine person will ever ask you anything about the OTP, password or PIN. That is why I say that if someone feels very urgent, exciting, and too good to be true, it is usually a trap. You must keep that in mind. Now come to the online child sexual abuse and grooming. Here I would like to go for a very, very serious issue. In fact, the one part is the cyber crime, the crimes that you have just narrated. The second is your online child sexual abuse, which is often hidden as well as dangerous. You might have noticed sometimes the strangers, they try to be your friends, they pretend to be your friends online. They also become slowly become your friends in due course of time. And they ask for your personal photographs, they ask for your videos. And then they try to blackmail you or threaten you. These are some of the online sexual abuse or online manifestations, which is called grooming, sexual grooming or online grooming. So remember, not everyone online is your friend. If they claim to be your friend, you be very cautious about it. Everybody who is online cannot be your friend all the time. And sharing private photos or even anything, your documents or anything else, can be misused forever. Even if you once try to do it, it can be used or it can be misused forever. So since you have to be very, very active on that, silence always helps the criminals and it cannot help you. So be aware of all this, and that is called creating awareness. Because awareness is something which talks about it. Because you have to be aware of it, you have to be responsible about it, and at the same time you have to be resilient about it. Unless all these things are there, you cannot be sure about it. And if anyone makes you uncomfortable online, you should have the audacity to say no, a firm and a very decisive no, and you should block them immediately. First of all, you try to go for saying no, and the second thing that you must do is to block them, and immediately inform your parents or your teachers. You are studying in beautiful schools, good schools, so you immediately inform the teachers about what has happened with you. Now, what are the safety toolkits? In fact, there are simple habits. There are very, very simple habits that will protect you. The first thing is, think before you click. My friends, I'll advise you that whatever you do online, you try to click, but before that, you think. Unknown links can harm you profusely. So that is one thing that you must keep in mind, that before you're clicking anything, you must think twice. Keep strong passwords. All the cyber experts will tell you that how to keep strong passwords, because strong passwords are definitely much more difficult to hack them. But never share these passwords to anyone, because that is something you will be committing a mistake if you try to share your passwords to anyone. And always keep in mind that the privacy matters. Do not overshare your personal details. Be it your friends, be it somebody who is online, try to be as discreet as possible. Never share your private things. And do not accept unknown friends' request. We keep clicking the mouse, we treat it as a very, very normal thing. And in this normalcy, what we do is that we just make friends enormously. You keep making friends here and there, but don't accept unknown friends' request and use only trusted apps. That is also something you must keep that in mind. So more importantly, all these things are that talk to a very trusted adult, be it parents, teachers, or guardians. And in India, I'll tell you, there are so many ways to prevent it. You have, as the introducer has already talked about, IC4. That is something which is given by the government of India. That's the government machinery. So in India, you can always report cybercrime on the government portal or call 1930. So, dear students, all that I can say in this brief introduction, that technology is a very, very powerful tool. You must use them. You must use them to your advantage. It can build your future. It can also expose you to danger. The difference lies in how wisely you use this technology. Be alert, be responsible, be fearless in reporting, because your awareness is the strongest protection. So all that I can say to my dear friends, to brilliant minds, that cybercrime is increasing, it will keep on increasing. There is no way you can just get away from that, because the whole world is an internet world. But all that you have to do is to keep safe distance from it so far as the misuse is concerned. And for that, it is necessary that your awareness has to be rebounded, your responsibility has to be doubled, and your resilience to use it profitably to your advantage, to your advantage of the whole society should always be there. Thank you so much for giving an opportunity to me, and I wish all of you good luck. Thank you.
Vidhan, over to you, please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for those wonderful and enlightening thoughts. We are sincerely grateful for your time, guidance, and valuable knowledge that you impart with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, I don't think Deepak sir is here.
Okay. So while we try and invite Deepak sir, what we can do is the section that our students had prepared for the audience, you can continue with that, the demo, of course. Okay, he's there. Very nice, very nice. Please, let's start.
Now, we welcome Dr. Deepak Kumar, the esteemed speaker for the current session. Dr. Kumar is a distinguished senior digital forensics and cyber intelligence professional who is renowned for his expertise and contribution to the field. Dr. Kumar is currently working with the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, or I4C, under the Ministry of Home Affairs. He holds prestigious positions, including chair member in National Cyber Safety and Security Standards in India, and is an active member of the International Cyber Threat Task Force. As a subject matter expert in domains such as digital forensics, cyber security, cybercrime terrorism, and threat intelligence, including open source, dark web, and social media intelligence, Dr. Kumar continues to play an instrumental role in advancing cybersecurity awareness and fostering a secure digital environment. He shall enlighten us today on how artificial intelligence helps protect us online. We hand over the session to you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning. Just confirm me whether I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you first of all, DPS Sarkippuram and Monica Madam for inviting me here. I was hearing the officer Jo explain correctly. It was literally need of the hour, and the topic which is given to me that is really important to all the students. First of all, cybercrime is a big subject. Cybercrime is literally an important area where we have to understand, not only students, even though every citizen of India, faculties, teachers, principal, me, any person who actually using digital device. So today I would like to highlight 2 pointers. One, as of now, whatever we have done from the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, from the government perspective, as well from the police perspective, what happens exactly? I'll show you with some presentation, some sort of examples, so you'll get to know exactly what is the situation. Just confirm me, I'm just sharing my screen. Whether can you see my screen? Just do thumbs up. And as well, give a response, a proper response during the session if you understand, do thumbs up like that. Okay, so this is the a small example basically which I would like to show. All right. Done. Thank you. So what is happening here? First of all, so my point is here. Initially, the topic is artificial intelligence, AI, what is the role of AI, what is the negative impact and side impact, what is the positivity as well. Before going with this, just want to showcase the example which OP sir said. अभी जो सेशन हुआ basically उसमें मैं थोड़ा सा मैं example देना चाहता हूँ ताकि आप समझो कि exactly है क्या. I'm telling you, this is one use case where a person who is technically sound, who is technically sound with the cyber subject technology as well, even though she was caught by police. And it was not a small thing. You have heard about in schools, various students, various person, they are sending bomb threats mails in school. And there are various concerns like all the schools, all the colleges, all the government institutions, even though they are like serious concern, taking it as a serious concern. You heard about the scammers who are calling, who are mentioned, see the busted, like which we have busted those suspect, or you can say perpetrator or the criminals, you can say, and the age group you can see. These are from the pan India, and it is not from the one state. It's not like Bihar or any Jharkhand or any specific region. They are from pan India level, and how they are working, you can see the situations like that. The point I want to showcase, they are the people, they don't know exactly the side impact or implication of indulging into wrong things. My point is that, like, if suppose somebody got a very good message on Instagram or Snapchat or any Discord or any Telegram application, or somebody said that I have got your personal photos or I will leak somewhere, like blackmailing perspective. It could be anything. Or somebody saying that now iPhone 17 Max Pro is you will get in 10,000 rupees. Just only you have to create an email ID, or you have to create this ID, you have to share only your some information. So you think people think that okay, हमें information to share करना है, इससे क्या होगा? I'm telling you recently various cases where students don't know exactly what is happening, and they install fake application, fake mobile, they link with such sort of things, and they trap into such kind of operations. You can see the age group of these students are like 20 to 25, 15 to 30. These are the maybe age group youth are involved into these kind of situations, even though the students who are doing BTech, MTech and all, and they have busted, they created some fake email IDs and they have busted by police as well. And various content you have seen in India, mobile application-based crime and misusing of the technologies, you can say that, cheating, stalking someone. I mean, somebody saying that like I'm sending some messages on WhatsApp, or I can create a fake account on Instagram, nothing can be done. And I'm telling you, it is not a small thing. Understand, if one time, if that crime has been reported, so it is a serious crime where police can or intelligence can able to get the information. Don't say we can use VPNs or we can use a sort of information like that. So this is the high-tech crimes where people use all sort of mechanism, using VPNs, using fake email IDs, using something, because somewhere it is intelligence and the forensic team which can bust these kind of gangs, even though it is sitting in any corner of India or in a foreign state, or it could be a man in the middle attack, you can say that. So this is the showcase where they have learned something from YouTube, like using this thing, and you can get, they are using SMS bombers, sending, fooling people, spamming people with flooding with SMSs. They are sending various SMS in one time. Some students created a fake page of the schools or colleges onto this Instagram or different pages on Quora, or you can say any different narrative or different platforms and anything like that. You heard about this case, the deepfake case which was happened. Even he is a student from India itself. He was pursuing his BTech, and he busted from Guntur. It is in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, that side. And even though everything digitally, things are connected somewhere, and different crimes works are happening, because they don't know the side impact or side concern of this particular. So this is some case studies where misuse of technology, taking the help of generative AI, ChatGPT, Perplexity, or you can say any cloud or any subscription which is premium, or fake antivirus, fake application, and hiding information, VPN numbers, fake. Nothing can be safe. It is also taking our data. They also blackmail us in future, and this can be worked out for crime perspective. You can heard this digital mobile application where like sending the APK file. Students are playing too much games. They are using mod application based information like that. Modern application, customized application. Because if I use any application which is commercial, suppose an application called Filmora, and it is used to create good reels, joining videos and all. Suppose any application is used to do any commercial thing, but it is not free. Then people start searching crack application, free application. That kind of tricks. Somebody want to download the movie called Durandar 2, and they search on internet Durandar 2 download, Telegram channel, something like that. What is happening? It ends with the fake narrative or fake website or fake application, and user once they try and they think, oh stay हमें अब नहीं करना है, और वो one time जब हम install करते हैं, watch करते हैं, click करते हैं, वहीं हम फंस जाते हैं. तो nothing is free. हो सकता है ऐसे टेलीग्राम में channels हो, for example, where you will get those things. I'm not denying, but after some time when it is reported by police or by students or me or you, it can again shut down. But there are various platforms where these things are not genuine. Nothing is free. If you search about any illicit content, child sexual content is a heinous concern in India. If anybody uses or downloads or watches such content, it is a serious thing. Understand? In India, it is a serious concern. So what I'm trying to say is that if somebody is accidentally taking your data and accidentally you tag yourself, for example, you have to intimate to these superiors or seniors or teachers or mentors or parents or friends, those who are responsible, those who can help you out exactly what need to be done. Because at the end of the day, if your device is compromised, your contact, they will take your contact, they will start sending bombarding messages to your contact people that yes Deepak, yes Ramesh, yes Sonali, XYZ, and they said this is your content or not. So sometimes these things are there, and you see this also linked with international cyber terrorism angle where users think I know about cryptocurrency, I deal with crypto, I know about this Roblox game. Just such kind of games are there, Roblox and all like that. My point is that nothing is free, nothing is safe. We have to cross-check whether we are using these things in our real phone, in a real environment. If our phone contains personal information, and because of the fake application, it's supposed to be downloaded and it can go to a wrong hand or wrong platform, then what happened? So these are the case studies where we can say that in cybercrime, which is there. Now, the point is here, you heard about one very serious thing that is called digital arrest. Digital arrest is one of the situation where anybody got a call with the, they pretend themselves as a police officer of a government department like that. That call came to your parents, to you as well. If it came to your parents, basically they can say that, they pretend that. Or pretexting that like your student did some sort of, your kid, son or your daughter, they found in a bad position, or they involved into any sort of crime, and we just busted them. So sometimes what happens, parents are worried and they simply don't call you, don't verify from school or something, and they do what? They talk to the criminals as well, and they ask some sort of money, and they pay the money. So what is happening? These call centers which I shown you, इनका काम ही होता है basically कि ये लोग इंडिया में इस तरह के calls करते रहते हैं. इन्हें डेटा मिल जाता है, डेटा मिलना, डेटा लीक होना is not a big deal. आप ये मानिए simple example, for example, when you go to any shop or any place, हम जब entry करते हैं attendance book में या फिर register book में, gate में आपके जो बाहर में gate होता है, तो when delivery boy comes कि which building में किसके पास जाना है, तो mention नहीं करता I want to go दीपक सर के room पे, room number this, or sometimes they ask numbers. So that detail is one. Hotel में जाते हैं, we can mention. Malls में जाते हैं, we are giving our number like that. So that is those potential platforms जहाँ पे freely easily data मिल जाता है. और अभी हम online जब कभी book करते हैं tickets, हमें कहीं जाना होता है, आधार कार्ड, everything we are giving. तो website की weakness they take the data from website, they can collect the information from. There are various platforms to get. I'm not pointing. And after that, what happened? That fake numbers, they make a call. If they make a call to 2,000 people in one day, and in 1,000 people, what happened? If 3 or 4 people trap into this kind of wrong happening things, then what happened? They get the money. So sometimes those who are aware, they are safe. Those who are not aware, they are not safe. So that is the use case example which I was trying to showcase. But now I'm talking about the subject which is today about the AI part. But be careful about the negative impact of cybercrime, negative impact of digital misuse, the digital devices, digital data which is misused by this particular scandal. Just thumbs up. I just opened my second slide. It is visible or not? Just do thumbs up. All right. So now this is the point. This is the code which I have shown you on the slide. Understand, this is very important. अगर कुछ लोग ये सोचते हैं कि मैं WhatsApp पे I can show the content only to my friends. I don't want to show to Deepak or I don't want to show to madam. मेरा content check नहीं कर पाए. I'm telling you one thing. Internet digital में privacy is a myth. आप अगर इंटरनेट से कनेक्टेड हैं, आप डिजिटली कनेक्टेड हैं, if you heard about Epstein file, that level of information, even though it has been leaked, you understand there's nothing is safe. Nothing is safe if we are on internet. I'm telling you, if we are on internet, if we are using digital device, if we are using WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, or Snapchat, or any sort of application, they are collecting our data. If I'm telling you, if you're talking about, yeah, this weekend we plan to go Goa, और हम लोग वहाँ मस्ती करेंगे, हम लोग फैमिली के साथ जाएंगे, हम लोग वहाँ पे होटल्स बुक करेंगे, हम लोग वहाँ राइड पे जाएंगे, हम लोग आप बस इतनी बातें कीजिए, आप शाम तक में देखिए, you will see the advertisement pertaining to Goa and all the adventures hotels similar to that one. It pop up on your mobile, it pop up on your reels or in YouTube or shorts like that. Why? Because in the phone, basically, we have allowed the permission, okay Siri, hello Google, like that. And by the same time, we have allowed the permission to the phone, like to record the video, or to create, we have given permission to enable the microphone or videos like that. So what is happening when you're enabling something like that? They are silently listening in conversation. And hence, when they're listening to the conversation, then the algorithm works. Whatever we are searching on browser, so that browser cookies are there, and that browser cookies, they silently take the information. Searching about a song, रन करना है, मुझे ट्रेंड लगाना है अपने रील में, और उस सॉन्ग में जो अभी चल रहा है, मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा, पर अच्छा सॉन्ग है वो, it's a remake of something. अब मैं उसको सर्च तो you will see all the content pertaining to the same thing. So that is a question where algorithm is playing with us. We are not playing with algorithm or trend. They are playing with us. They decide what we need to do. अभी I result निकला है और मुझे if I want to play, I want to plan something to doctorate. So if I search for doctorate, NEET exam and all, or the quota or any platform where I want to study online something, believe that you will see the content like that. So at the same time, if you think negative, so every negative things come on you. So that is the power of AI and the power of this information. So nothing is free. Everything is depending on your mindset. What is what? Now coming back to the subject, what exactly is artificial intelligence? First, understand the data, then information, and then intelligence. You just do a role play over here. So what is happening? It is a room, and in this room, everything is assorted. My books are here, my shoes are there, my pani yahan pe hai. Everything is in different place. So isko arrange karna, that is the information we are arranging somewhere. But if suppose I want to say that pani sahi nahi hai aur ye shoes sahi nahi hai, or maybe this pillow is stinking somewhere. So मैंने intelligence gather की कि ये सही है गलत है. Like I find the threat or I found something which is good or bad like that. So that information which contains some actionable information, that actually is intelligence. So वही information, वही data किसी काम करने जब तक वो intelligence में convert ना हो. तो इसको ट्रेन करने के लिए we use some sort of scripts, some sort of algorithms, and that models, algorithms, technology basically train and Intel को artificially work out करना. So that is the situation where like integration of generative AI, the models, and this language generally we call NLPs, natural language processing. What happens exactly with the help of ML? It generates it generates like a work model basically, which give decisions like that. So various components on their internet as well. So it's referred to simulation of human-like intelligence, but in a machine that can think, learn, and make decisions. So when you're searching on ChatGPT, like ChatGPT, मुझे ये बताओ कि अभी मुझे ये प्लान करना है, या फिर मेरे साथ अच्छा नहीं हो रहा है, या फिर मुझे ऐसा कुछ हुआ है, तो मुझे क्या, आप बिलीव करेंगे वो आपको आंसर देना शुरू कर देगा. So this is coming because a database है, एक मॉडल है, उसमें सारी चीज फीड हुई है, उस फीड का इंफॉर्मेशन आपको लाके प्रोवाइड करता है. अगर आप पूछोगे कि मैथमेटिक्स सही है या केमिस्ट्री सही है, तो वो मैथमेटिक्स केमिस्ट्री की जितने रिसर्च है, आर्टिकल्स है, पेपर्स हैं, वो वहां से उठा करके उस चीज को दिखाया कि नहीं ये ऐसी चीज है. और आप बोलोगे कि यार केमिस्ट्री सही है, तो वो समझ जाएगा कि आप ना यू अलाइन विद केमिस्ट्री. सो नाउ वो आपके फेवर में केमिस्ट्री की बात, हाँ बात तो सही कह रहे हो दीपक, केमिस्ट्री सही है, आपको पता है केमिस्ट्री में लिए. सो दैट इज दी डिपेंडेंसी, फ्रेंडशिप का जो हमसे अलाइन करना चाहता है. पर आप यही बात अगर अपने फ्रेंड्स से करोगे या टीचर से करोगे, बोले नहीं मैथमेटिक्स गुड है, नहीं ये सही है, तो आप भूल जाओगे कि आप वहां पे नॉलेज को फोकस नहीं कर रहे हो, आप उनके एक्शन को फोकस कर रहे हो. आप सोचते हो यार पूछो ना पूछो. सो थिंग्स लाइक दैट. सो फॉरगेट अबाउट दिस, बट द पॉइंट हियर इज दैट इट्स बेसिकली अ simulation practice which we are creating with the help of models. People train models. तो मॉडल ट्रेन कैसे होते हैं? मॉडल ट्रेन होते हैं एक्शनेबल इंफॉर्मेशन से. एक्शनेबल इंफॉर्मेशन क्या होती है? एक्शनेबल इंफॉर्मेशन होती है, हम अगर कल घूमने के लिए गए थे और हम किसी भी एक अक्षरधाम टेम्पल गए थे, अक्षरधाम टेम्पल में हमने फिर फोटो खिंचाई, बाहर के बाद we been to Siddhi Vinayak place with family and we had some lavishing dinner over there. We posted some photos and we had some Chinese stuff. So मंदिर, अक्षरधाम, इसके बाद by in Delhi CP, then Chinese cuisine. So what is happening? That is the actual latest information which we are giving through Instagram to Meta. So the Meta का जो प्लेटफॉर्म होगा, जो Meta का जो मॉडल होगा, वो एक्चुअली ट्रेन होगा, वो आपको एक्चुअल इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइड करेगा गवर्नमेंट को, इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसीज को, जो उनकी सर्विस दे रही होंगी. तो जो रियल पर्सन होते हैं एक्चुअली दे डोंट यूज अ सॉर्ट ऑफ प्लेटफॉर्म, दे डोंट यूज ऑनलाइन इंफॉर्मेशन टू सर्च बिकॉज़ data is going somewhere. So that is how the profiling works, and in India cybercrime is cybersecurity perspective things are happening, and when you see about the content as well, this is a serious aware about the things like that. Okay, so now little bit focusing about the misuse. My dear friends and students, those who are seeing this particular, you can see the search into the advancement of cybercrime. Earlier, what is happening? If suppose somebody want to make a crime or do a crime or misusing of the crime, they have to learn it. उन्हें Python पढ़नी पड़ती थी, उन्हें टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करना पड़ता था. आज क्या है? आज तो कुछ यूज नहीं करना है, आज बस एक प्रॉम्प्ट डालना है और उसके हिसाब से एक मेल क्रिएट करनी है और फेक वेबसाइट बना करके फेक प्लेटफॉर्म से जा करके शूट करना है, फॉर एग्जांपल. सो नाउ द पॉइंट इज हियर दैट इज कॉल्ड साइबरक्राइम एज अ सर्विस. मींस इट्स लाइक अ शॉप where they're not experienced with these, but they're providing the service. So a kind of mediator, a kind of gang, a kind of platform or such kind of situation where they're trying to misuse and sharing information like that. So here 80% of phishing campaigns in India. So phishing kya hai basically? Creating a fake website and taking information from the users, mimicking something like that. So approx, there are many crimes which is being reported, approx 50 lakhs of complaints so far which is being reported on the portal called cybercrime.gov.in. Cybercrime.gov.in. That is the website, a centralized portal where people are reporting the complaint. Cyber fraud itself losses in first 6 months. This is amount of data. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter you're from Delhi or from BPS or from Deepak, from wherever. Criminal don't see who is Deepak, who is DPS, who is madam, who is sir, who is minister, who is police. They only target about the money and revenge. For the fun purpose, for money purpose. But one day, if they have been trapped, then it's seen that like, oh, they have done something wrong. But once they have something wrong, then it is a crime. अगर FIR हुआ, अगर complaint हुई, तो future में बच्चों को बोलना चाहिए, बच्चे ध्यान से सुनिएगा. अगर एक बार कंप्लेंट में FIR में नाम आ गया, अब फ्यूचर में कुछ भी परचेजिंग करेंगे, जॉब के लिए जाएंगे, फॉरेन जाएंगे, वीजा अप्लाई करेंगे, और जहाँ पे भी गवर्नमेंट की इंटरवीन होगी, आपका हर बार आएगा पुलिस वेरिफिकेशन के लिए. आप बताओगे हाँ यार मैंने स्कूल में ऐसे हरकतें की थी. लाइफ टाइम के लिए आपको ना जॉब मिलेगी, आपको लोग गलत नजर से देखेंगे. Everything collapsed. I'm telling you, take as a friendly advice. It is there because there is very good students, those who committed accidentally some sort of crimes, and उनकी लाइफ बड़ी प्रॉब्लम में है और लोग परेशान होते हैं, बोलते हैं मैं ठीक करना चाहता हूँ, बट समय चला गया. So don't involve into any negative impacts like that. But how AI can be misused, you can see from this method. So deepfake scams are there. Let me explain in a very simplest terms what exactly is deepfake scams. Deepfake. Earlier, if an image was there, we do what? We just crop it, we morph it. We call morphing. Changing the face and all with the help of sort of technology or removing something. Watermark ऐसा करके. तो deepfake में अब इतना ज़्यादा मॉडल आ गए हैं. For example, where they are misusing the image, voice clone करना, like that. AI malwares are there where they create, they write a code which can evade the malwares, and that is again the same thing. Similarly, smart phishing is like they're writing a SMS phishing mail like that कि actually नवरात्रि की छुट्टियां खत्म हुई और मैंने कल खाना खा लिया था, तो थोड़ा सा पेट खराब हो गया है, बट मेरा बड़ा मन स्कूल आने के लिए बट आ नहीं सकता. राइट प्रॉब्लम तो इतना बढ़िया ईमेल लिखेगा कि मैं क्या, कोई भी सोचेगा यार बात तो सही है. तो that phonetics बोलने से ज्यादा जो लिखने में जब कोई पढ़ता है with humble request sir madam due to so that is the smart phishing, things like that. ये तो हो गया छुट्टी के लिए. कॉर्पोरेट कल्चर में क्या होता है कि यस हमारी मीटिंग अच्छी हुई और आपने सर्विस अच्छा प्रोवाइड किया फॉर एग्जांपल, एंड उसके बाद हम चाहते हैं बिजनेस को कंटिन्यू करने के लिए, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमारा मार्च में हम नहीं कर पाएंगे, तो हम नए उसमें करेंगे. बट हमारी लास्ट ईयर की जो सर्विस थी उसके लिए थैंक यू बोलना चाहता हूं. हमने एक प्रेजेंटेशन बनाई हुई है, आप उसको चेक कर लीजिए. नाउ व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन दैट प्रेजेंटेशन को तो क्लिक करेगा, वो मैलवेयर उसमें एम्बेड रहेगा, मैलवेयर सिस्टम पे चला जाएगा. सो हुकिंग समवन by creating a narrative with a real email ID, that is the smart phishing things, and nobody knows exactly what is happening. Right? Password tracking is also there, where try stolen password because the data. बच्चे किसी का भी पासवर्ड देखो, अगर आप इंस्टाग्राम का, फेसबुक का, ईमेल का, जीमेल का, सबके पासवर्ड सेम होंगे, और अगर किसी को पासवर्ड मालूम हो गया, आपके फ्रेंड को या किसी को भी, तो वो ट्राई करेगा दूसरे में वही लगाने के लिए. चलो फेसबुक का भी चेक करते हैं, और अगर उसमें 2-step वेरिफिकेशन नहीं, फॉर एग्जांपल, then what happen? Then he can or she can able to see stock other information. और हमारी प्राइवेसी हमारी इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट है. अपने टूथब्रश, अपने अंडरवियर्स किसी से शेयर नहीं करते. सिमिलरली अगर आपका कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन कोई चेक करता है कि किससे क्या बात करते हो, क्या सर्च करते हो, ये किसी को पसंद नहीं, मुझे भी पसंद नहीं है, आपको कोई पसंद नहीं है. तो think if any criminal mindset people who can see such things, then what he or she can do. And remember, it's not he or she, it is the intention of the person, and it doesn't know exactly कौन क्या कब किसको misuse कर सकता है. So voice cloning, fake document, romance bots, deepfake, blackmail, AI, these are the things. अब AI job की बात करो, fake jobs scam को लेकर के, nobody knows exactly what is happening, and people are misusing the technology. So now, my friends, those who are learning something, I'm telling you, with the help of Ministry of Education, Government of India, and from the colleges, UGC and ACT, or different departments, we enforce from the ministry like that. Every school, every like standards, even they should have some cyber-related courses or topics, AI, ML, cyber security, programming, everything. Because data, they should know what is the future. Because in end of the day, end of the schooling or because these things are happening on day-to-day life. So study about how to detect this. So these are the challenges. If you work on challenges, you are learning something which can really help out for the users like that. So this is the technical please इसको screenshot ले लीजिए, and that is important because it is really important for the aspect which can be worked out. Now let me move to the next one. That is about the categories, AI models and categories like that. So little bit advanced, but just overview. I'm just trying to connect in a very simplest perspective. You heard about only ChatGPT, maybe Gemini or like Claude or Perplexity, or maybe 4 or 5 more such things like that. Yes or no? So the LLMs are there. इनका purpose क्या होता है? ये vision वाले models कौन है? Speech models कौन है? तो सारे models जितने भी हैं, ये basically engine है सारी चीजों का. तो अगर स्टॉक मार्केट की बात करते हो, फॉर एग्जांपल लास्ट वाला, दैट इज कॉल्ड टाइम सीरीज मॉडल्स एंड दे टू कॉल स्टॉक मार्केट प्रेडिक्शन मॉडल्स. दे कैन आल्सो यूज फॉर वेदर फोरकास्टिंग मॉडल्स. एआई इनका काम क्या है? तो जब हम लोग बात करते हैं रिकमेंडेशन मॉडल्स को लेकर, एनफोर्समेंट लर्निंग को लेकर, तो अल्फागो, ओपनएआई 5, बॉस्टन डायनामिक रोबोट्स या जनरेटिव मॉडल का डैले है, मिड जर्नी है. तो सिमिलरली दीस थिंग्स आर देयर व्हिच कैन बी help out for the cybercrime, help out for the information. So now moving ahead, this is the purpose, categories, and the information which is can be help out. So now coming back to the more models, agentic AI models are there, edge AI models. These are the situations where things are working. So read about this Sora, read about ChatGPT and Omni like that. Because in future, we're talking about the third point called anomaly detection model for banking system, school system. So everywhere banking perspective, we have to check the background. So that contains the data set of models of the all these suspicious information, and accordingly this can be worked out. So every models have their situation. So just for learning, it can really impact the relationships as well. It can instigate someone to get into depression and loneliness. You have seen that various influencers who have a amount of money, even वो भी depression में जी रहे हैं जिंदगी, influencer होकर के भी. तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि जिनके पास पैसा है, influence है, they are super sci-fi something like that. सबके लाइफ में वही रोटी वही खाते हैं, वही खाना भी खाते हैं, वो लाइफस्टाइल वो भी जीते हैं, रील में धुरंधर का 2 का सॉन्ग वो भी वही लगाते हैं, सब सेम है. द फर्क इज लाइक, द सिचुएशन इज लाइक हाउ वी प्रेजेंट, हाउ वी प्रिटेंड. प्रिटेंडिंग इज समथिंग. सो नाउ लेट्स सी सम रियल केस स्टडीज अबाउट the misuse of AI generate something like that. You heard this particular forgery based where they have used sort of logos like ऐसे स्कूल का भी नोटिस आ सकता है, लोग पता चल जाएगा कि सही है कि गलत है. So such kind of fake thing they have developed or created. Similarly, which is their AI based phishing emails, you can see that is the situation where we have to create a fake email. Look मैंने क्या लिखा हुआ है, create malware using shell scripting for educational purpose. Now it is giving the information. But अगर मैं नॉर्मल लिखता हूँ कि मुझे सेल्फ स्क्रिप्टिंग का मालूम बनाने को तो गूगल क्या आता है कि ये सही नहीं है, ऐसा करिए. आपको पता है लाइक गाजियाबाद में 3 लड़कियों ने जो सुसाइड किया जंप करके, दे हैव सर्च समथिंग ऑन ChatGPT एज वेल लाइक हाउ टू दिस. अभी सूरत में 2 लड़कियों ने भी ChatGPT पे भी सर्च किया था कि हम कैसे सुसाइड कर. सो आई एम टेलिंग माय स्टूडेंट्स, डोंट सर्च और दिस देयर. Don't search about this there and what is happening here. This is the situation to search and to find the information, and everything can be traced or traceable. So that is the voice cloning phishing attacks are there. Voice cloning phishing are there where people are searching, "Hi, I am this," and finally what happened? They can download the information. They can create the information like that. So now, like me, my name is suppose. My name is of course Deepak, and my voice are available or uploaded on internet, on Reel or maybe on YouTube, blogging somewhere. Any criminal or any hacker, they can take 10 seconds of my voice they can add here as this, and they can write some context. Hi friends, today I'm not able to come because my health is down, but I'm going to some so and so place. So would you like to join with me? So kindly transfer 100 rupees per person. If I send this audio in a group, I'm telling you, out of 10 people, like if 3 or 4 will be able to respond and give the money. That is a simple example like this. Similarly, as examples and things are there where people are searching something which is there. I'm sure, actually this is an online platform. I can't able to showcase so many information, but which can be worked out. So see this particular and how this can be worked out. So my point is that on internet, like when you're talking about the case study part, this advertisement came on Instagram, and hence on Instagram, if you see such content, we think it is real. Fake email, fake link, fake police, fake content. Another example is called removing dresses. I'm telling to the students and everyone, maximum crimes are reported to us because they were using some sort of fake information, fake thing like that. And finally, what happened? They're trapped, they install fake application, and similarly, things happen like that. Fake ads are on investment perspective, which is there. And where the fake things are like, this is all information where the minister's school or anything can be come out. You can see about the gas cylinder based scams are happening on the internet like that. And now this can be worked out with the fake influencers for gaming perspective, stock market perspective, and fake information which is there. So these are the information where fake case studies, fake information which is being addressed onto the platform. My point to all the students and the faculties as well, understand how these things are happening from the root level, how we can update ourselves with the cybercrime or cyber or misuse of AI part like that. So awareness is the first key to prevent ourselves. That is one. Technology is the second thing which can prevent by the government agencies or the authorities. And third, very important, if both we can add, and if suppose we trap them, if suppose we take a legal step like that, at least we should have evidence. If we don't have evidence, then it can't be worked. Similarly, various examples are there. You can see news articles where AI scams rises in India, and even the wipe hacking was using from the AI agents. You heard about this anthropic. This is the recent which you have studied, but it was happening since last year. I mean, 2025 August month. That we have studied about the wipe hacking, how criminals use code to scale data extraction operations from the India and from international level, because the attackers are exploiting the AI agents. Listen, hackers now attacking to ChatGPT to get information what Deepak has searched, like that. So similarly, such kind of operations which is being used on internet, and this has been provided for the perspective. That was the condition for the anatomy. AI agent read about suppose those who are interested in this particular and use for a good perspective to manipulate, to understand, to counter such kind of things like that. You see, this AI generated malware and ransomware creation for the students which was there. So now let me focus about the little bit about the portal that is called cybercrime, the portal which is online to all of you. The website is basically cybercrime.gov.in, and that can be just 2 thumbs up. Can you see my screen? क्या आपको मेरी स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रही है? Just confirm please.
Yes.
So my friend, this is a website called Cyber Portal, and under this portal you can report a crime. Let me show you something for the women and females. They can report from this option. If suppose you would not like a case with police, you don't want to report to the police directly to the police station, you may refer, you may use this option called women child related crime. So here we have 2 options called report anonymous and report and track. So when you see report anonymous and report and track like that, so in anonymous, what is happening here? if any URL, if any information you want to give only, and that can be sought out, then this option will work out. And suppose the information is not complete, then police is not able to connect with you. Remember, so give full information. But if you want to give report and track, this option. So what is happening here? You need to provide information, and police can able to connect with you as well for more information. कि आपने जो दी हुई है, उसकी हमें all information चाहिए. So this portal can help out for the same thing. And apart from that, if any financial fraud happens, cybercrime is happening, you can put with the same option with the things like that. But second point, an option is called this report and check suspect. This option is important for the second point. That is called report suspect here. Then we do have an option called this report suspect to I4C. So now when you click here, then what happened? Then you can report any fake website, fake WhatsApp number, phone number, somebody is misusing this email ID, this SMS headers, social media URL, deepfake. That content you can able to report over here, and just choose your state, like you are from Delhi, choose Delhi. And similarly, when you go to download, upload some sort of information कि हमें Twitter में मिला, हमारा image content था, फाइल upload कर दो जो भी देनी है, बोले तो मेरा नाम देवेश है, मेरा नाम XYZ है, और मैंने content for example I found it out, and this need to be taken as information purpose. For more information, you contact me on this number. आप नंबर दे सकते हो, ताकि जल्दबाजी में पुलिस अगर वेरीफाई करे तो पूछ सके कि ये like that. So that can be help out. जिन लोगों का कभी कोई इशू होता है फेसबुक या इंस्टाग्राम में, तो ये ऑप्शन यहाँ से यूज कीजिए. रिपोर्ट सस्पेक्ट में we have called report to social media. This and social media का फेसबुक का इशू है, इंस्टाग्राम का है, you can report from the Instagram issue is there. You can click here and now open a website which can talk about the help with reference with the Instagram, and there you can report about the situation में bully कर रहा है, with violence है, with sexual content है, that you can report with this option. You can read and then you can fill the information like this. So this is the thing which can be help out. So when you say report, comment, you can learn here. You can report with the same thing. So that is about the cybercrime. For more information, you can just Google about this. I have posted some more content. You can Google about the cybercrime perspective, awareness perspective, things are there. And this can work out. I just posted recently about the recent algorithm-based information, which is linked with cyber part. Why I'm showing this one? Because this is the mechanism to showcase what is happening to all the students and all the things like that. So such updates you can get from the what we are using, what we are trapping, and then information for the crime part. So that is the things from the legal part, and thanks to once again to the CyberX team and Miss Sarika Kaushal madam and their students, Vidhan Garg as well, and Monica madam, especially Monica Bansal madam, invited me in this platform. Cyber, again, I'm telling you, cyber is a subject. It's not dealing with this particular technological issue. It is also dealing with the information which we don't know. Because unawareness and जानकारी न होना, गलती से काम हो जाना, गलती से कुछ हो जाना, it leads to severe concern. So we would like to be aware. Start with your friends, your brother, your sister, your mom and dad. Mom dad नहीं है समझदार, समझाओ उनको अपनी भाषा में कि मम्मी ऐसा होता है. साइबर क्राइम में अगर आपको कोई लिंक भेजता है, कोई अगर रील में इंस्टाग्राम में कमेंट करता है कि ब्लू टिक मिल जाएगा, डोंट क्लिक ऑन दैट लिंक. वी हैव टू अपडेट. बच्चों को कोई फेक एप्लीकेशन, क्रैक एप्लीकेशन है, तो उसको इंस्टॉल करोगे तो एक बार इंस्टॉल करने के बाद इफ यू इंस्टॉल दैट एप्लीकेशन, इवन दो डेटा चला गया, उसके बाद आप सॉरी बोलो नहीं हो पाएगा. अगर आपने you install an application and you ask some payment information, if you give credit card details, फिर तो आपका डेटा चला गया, वो डार्क वेब में, इंटरनेट में as well, that can lead to severe. So and thank you once again to all the students and madams and my dear friends, lovely faces that I can see on the screen. My best wishes with you for the future. आज नहीं तो कल connect होंगे and you can connect with me as well. I have given my details over there. And thanks to DPS, RK Puram and all the seniors, my dear friends. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you for that fantastic speech, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Those exact. Ma'am?
Can you just pause for a minute? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. Deepak sir, very, very informative session. I don't know whether children have this query or not. I have one query for you. Your portfolio is very, it's immensely expressive, interesting. What I mean to say, because the word forensic is, that word is very much there, in your portfolio. So I'm sure children must be having one question. What should be done? Do we have any colleges in India related to digital forensics and, to maybe think for their future, if they want to do their higher studies with respect to getting into this particular and to generate a portfolio like what you have. So are there any colleges, and at the same time, what else apart from the colleges, the skill development which is required, to do something related to cyber field?
Definitely, like cyber security, cyber intelligence, cyber forensics, digital forensics, such kind of keywords basically related to that one. There are various colleges in India, such as National Science Forensics University, that is NFSU, that is in Gandhinagar, even though that is in Delhi. They have more than 10 branches in India. Rashtriya Surakshit University, that is there, UPS, Uttarakhand. As well, there are various colleges, those who have some elective modules of cyber security in their BTech like that. So they integrate such courses, and from the degree perspective, they can do diploma perspective or certification perspective, even the various certifications are there, such as EC Council certificates, and of course that are commercial one, but Udemy, Sabrari as well, online platforms में भी आपको free certificates मिल जाएंगे. इसके अलावा Google and Microsoft or Cisco के भी they have free certifications on this particular about cyber security. So this discipline, if we add, I'm adding by whom? By students, by teachers, faculties. Even in Delhi itself, हमने Delhi government में भी force किया है सारे teachers को कि they have to do some sort of certifications or such courses that add on value for their profession, for learning perspective. So that is there. Yes, colleges are there, future is there, and as well honorable election ने एक काफी बड़ा fund allocate किया है hacking के लिए और कैप्चर द फ्लैग जैसे कॉन्सेप्ट्स होते हैं, जिससे फोरेंसिक को लेकर के एविडेंस को मार्क करना, क्योंकि क्राइम होगा एविडेंस को फोरेंसिकली स्टडी करना, दैट इज द बिग कंसर्न. एंड लॉ एनफोर्समेंट पुलिस आर नॉट वेल अवेयर. सो people like you and me, they are doing MOU with their colleges and schools, and they try to learn, the officers learn from them, because academies are there who can teach them, guide them. So discipline in itself with the colleges, and police will come to learn, or the department will come to learn, and they can seek some sort of information. Yes, colleges भी हैं, डिग्रीज भी हैं, सर्टिफिकेट्स भी हैं जो करते. मैंने जो लिंक दिया है अपना अभी मैंने नाम को लेकर के, मैंने एक्चुअली पोस्ट भी किए हैं ऐसे कंटेंट अपने आर्टिकल्स ब्लॉग्स में. अगर आप देखना चाहो तो मैं दोबारा एक बार दिखा देता हूँ एग्जैक्टली करना क्या है. सारे कंटेंट फ्री हैं. आई एम टेलिंग यू फ्रॉम माय ओवर डिकेड I have 16 years experience. So since day one I was posting something about forensics and all. It is completely free. So you can Google about Deepak Cyber or Deepak Forensics, for example. What I did, I just searched about Deepak Forensics on internet. This is my handle, D3DAK, and forensics. When you see this particular, you have the content. So एक इसमें content आता है basically slide share का. That particular slide share. When you click this particular, you will find some fundamental content or presentation or document on the topic. The topic is very tough नहीं है, simple है. When you open this particular, like what is cyber security tips, what is infographic, what is cyber forensics. If I open this particular one, and when you see the content, what exactly is the presentation, the things which I have shown you, it is freely available. You can read this particular, what is cybercrime, what is forensics, how the crime happened, what things need to be done, and what sort of malware linked with cyber, what is the things like that. So this is the content which I posted, freely available. You can read these standards. They can plan from day one what is what labs are there, what tools are required, what career things are related to the same thing. And very important, cyber security again, this is the big subject. Cyber security में क्या पढ़ना है? Suppose somebody want, यार मुझे technical नहीं आता, I don't know programming languages. So there are non-technical things also there. So they can opt. तो ये रेफरेंस आप अपने सीनियर्स, बड़े भैया भाई जो भी हैं उनको भी शेयर कर सकते हैं, उनको बता सकते हैं, और जो प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं अपने लिए दिस इज वर्कआउट। जब भी वेबसाइट आप देखते हैं साइबर को देखते चलिए, तो दिस इज वन। एंड फोरेंसिक्स के अलावा इसमें मैंने मेंशन भी किया है कॉलेजेस कौन से, तो दैट इज द link about the blog. So the blog which I have posted, simple blog is there. That blog is simple, which is again there. I have posted at the bottom about the categories. This can help out interviews, content, tips, security like that, and the media which you can refer for LinkedIn and for Twitter like that, which can help out. So that is the overall situation where we need to understand exactly what exactly is the topic, and suppose what the career opportunity, because it's just a skill set. Think in a simple manner कि अगर iPhone लेके चलते हो तो एक ब्रांड वैल्यू बनती है, तो साइबर में, सिक्योरिटी में, सर्टिफिकेशन में, फॉरेंसिक एड ऑन इज स्किल सेट। एक एचआर भी होगा, एक नॉन टेकी ऑफिशियल भी होगी या होगा, वो भी अगर साइबर नॉलेज रखता है that helps. अगर हमारे घर मेड आती है उसको मालूम होना चाहिए कि साइबर में, मेरे घर में जो मेड आती है वो सुन के उसको सब याद हो गया कि साइबर में रिपोर्ट कहाँ करना है, मतलब वो दिन भर सुनती रहती है कि ऐसा। तो दैट इज द सिचुएशन। तो अवेयरनेस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि जितने लोग जुड़े हुए हैं सभी के साथ या तो ऐसे कॉल्स या ऐसे इंसिडेंट हुए होंगे या होगा। मैं लिख के दे रहा हूँ, जब होगा तब बोलेंगे कि हाँ एक सेशन हुआ था दीपक सर का और उसमें बताया था। तो हेल्पलाइन नंबर है 1930 और दूसरा है साइबर क्राइम पोर्टल, जहाँ पे आपको इमीडिएट रिपोर्ट करनी है और सब चीजें होना बहुत जरूरी है। आई होप दिस हेल्प्स आउट। कोई क्वेश्चंस आप पूछ सकते हैं, ओपन चैनल है आप लोग के लिए।
सर एक सेंटेंस ना और आप बच्चों को बोल दीजिए, इनको हैकिंग वर्ड बड़ा फैसिनेटिंग फिर से लगता है, तो उनको ना ये नहीं पता एथिकल अनएथिकल और क्रैकिंग ये सब क्या होता है थोड़ा सा, क्योंकि उनको सबको लगता है हमें हैकर बनाना है।
माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, अभी सही एज नहीं है आपके समझने के लिए, मैं मानता हूँ। आपको मैं बोलूंगा, आप बोलोगे क्या सर हैकिंग बता रहे हो, आई नो, मैं बिल्कुल बोल रहा हूँ, पर माय डियर फ्रेंड्स हैकिंग इज अनएथिकल, इट्स नॉट एथिकल। एक एथिकल हैकिंग वर्ड आता है बेसिकली, ये सिंपल सा है, बंदूक और चाकू ये जो हथौड़े होते हैं ये किस काम आते हैं? आप सोचो, सेल्फ में बचने के लिए तो हम बंदूक यूज कर रहे हैं, किसी को पता उससे किसी को हानि भी हो रहा है, उसको किसी से लॉस भी हो रहा है। कहने का मतलब ये है, अगर हम कुछ भी इंटरनेट पे अनऑथराइज्ड एक्सेस करते हैं, अगर किसी ने, आप सिंपल मानो कि आप कहीं घर मोहल्ले में वॉकिंग कर रहे हो, आप किसी खिड़की में झांक रहे हो, फिर आप बोलते हो अरे आपका गैस खुला हुआ है, अब सोचो घर वालों का रिएक्शन क्या होगा? बोलेंगे आप हमारे घर में देख रहे हो, झांक रहे हो, तो थिंक लाइक दैट। तो बोलेंगे अरे मैं आई एम रिस्पांसिबल, मैं आंटी अंकल, मैं पड़ोसी हूं, मैं सिर्फ बताने के लिए आया कि मैंने ऐसा हो सकता। बोलेंगे आप मत बताइए। सो रियल थिंग इज हैपनिंग इन रियल लाइफ। आप किसी वेबसाइट को, किसी अकाउंट को टच करते हो, आपके फुटप्रिंट क्रिएट होते हैं, और फुटप्रिंट जब क्रिएट होता है तो जो फोरेंसिक स्टडी की जाएगी तो उसमें आईपी एड्रेस और इंफॉर्मेशन जब आएगी या लिंकेजेस आएंगे, आप डिनाई नहीं कर पाओगे, क्योंकि दीपिका पादुकोण जैसे फिल्म स्टार्स, उनको सबको समन किया गया जब ऐसे इंसिडेंट हुए इंडिया में क्राइम में। और ये रैना जो क्रिकेट प्लेयर हैं जिन्होंने गेमिंग के लिए सट्टे में पैसे के लिए अपना अकाउंट दिया, मतलब बहुत सारे एग्जांपल्स आप समझो जहां पे एक बार इंसिडेंट अगर रिपोर्ट हुआ तो पुलिस समन भेजेगी और कॉल करेगी। और स्कूल में जितने भी अभी बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट के बच्चे फंसे हैं, पुणे में लड़की की क्लास 11 की, नोएडा में एक लड़का फंसा है क्लास 12 था, यार इतने शार्प होते तो क्यों पकड़े जाते? I'm telling you, yes, तो कभी भी इन चीजों में मत पड़ो, my friendly advice है। और मत सोचो कि VPN से सब यूज करके तुम सेफ है, मत सोचना कि मैं इंस्टाग्राम में भेज करके डिलीट कर दूंगा वन व्यू से। नो, अगर किसी ने भी क्राइम में रिपोर्ट में लिखवाया, क्योंकि डेटा 3 जगह होता है, मेरे पास, सर्वर में, जिसको भेजा, किसी ने भी एक जगह इनपुट निकल गया कि हाँ आया है, ना कर पाओगे, ना स्कूल, ना मैडम, ना दीपक, कोई नहीं बचा पाएगा। सो माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, स्टॉकिंग नो, क्लियरली बात करो अपने टीचर से, पेरेंट्स से खुल के बात करो, मेंटोर से, भैया से खुल के समझो, कुछ गलत नहीं है, गलती होने से पहले समझो, एंड दैट कैन रियली हेल्प आउट। आई एम टेलिंग यू, साइबर इज अ रियली ब्यूटीफुल डोमेन। मनी अर्निंग के लिए, रिटर्न ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए, फ्यूचर के लिए आप कभी कहीं जाओ, आपको हल्का से बोलते हैं आप सेटिंग आती है मोबाइल में, आप बोलते हैं हाँ मैं कर, सो आप अलग ही बन जाते हो उस समूह में, उस कम्युनिटी में. You think so? Yes, a good gaming is the future. But दिन भर गेम घुसे नहीं रहना है, गेम को लत नहीं बनना है. गेम सोचो मैं क्या गेम डेवलप करूं, मैं कुछ कैसा गेम बनाऊं, डेवलपमेंट में मनी माइंड को सोचो कि हम कैसे हेल्प कर सकते हैं. Anyways, it's too much lecture today, and thanks once again to madam to organize such things, and it's really helpful for the students. कुछ ऐसा assistance होती है, you can connect with me on the same regard. Thank you.
Thank you for that fantastic speech, sir. It was truly fascinating. Now we are open to queries. Please note that a maximum of 2 to 3 queries can be accommodated that you can write in the Q&A section.
I have given my number, that one. दिव्यांश कुमार आपने जो लिखा है cybercrime.gov.in, ये वेबसाइट साइबर क्राइम रिपोर्ट करने के लिए सभी लोगों के लिए. हेल्पलाइन नंबर जो 1930, ये बिजी रहता है, अगर कभी होता तो आप keep trying, but report 1930 भी कीजिएगा. That is important. So that is the situation for the cybercrime part. और एक और चीज बताना चाहूंगा आप लोगों को, if you are using any platform like Instagram, Snapchat and all, try to set up two-step verification, two-step authentication. So what is happening, suppose the password has been hacked, so suppose anybody want to re-log in, rejoin something, so OTP comes to your phone. So what is happening, you please enable that option, how to set up two-step authentication, two-step verification, so at least no criminal can join that particular. So change the password immediately and set two-step authentication or verification. So at least only you can able to log in the content like that. All right, so there is no query. I know platform कोई नहीं पूछेगा सभी. अभी one लोग पूछेंगे बाद में. I have given my number. If something is there, most welcome. Thank you, madam. Eric Joseph is raised hand like yes, Eric.
Keshav, give him access to speak, please.
Ma'am?
Eric is a moderator now. So I think question can come from Eric first, then Arya Bajaj, and then Ahmed also. Eric, please start.
Aditya, please go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So, sir, I am Aditya Bajaj. And sir, I had a query that how do cyber criminals get our phone numbers, WhatsApp numbers, and then if they are like very secure, and even if it says that they are end-to-end encrypted, and if they are not sending these numbers, so how they are getting it?
A very good question. First of all, understand a very simple system. There are various methods where hackers are getting these numbers. Let's take one example. I am a criminal. I've been to Kota, and in Kota I got to know LN Academy is there. And I said that academy that for one student I will pay 10 rupees. I will pay 100 rupees. Just give me the details of the student, those who came from study perspective. अब LN में जितने बच्चे जाएंगे, जो रहेंगे, वो बाहर से आए होंगे, उनके पेरेंट्स ने पेमेंट किया होगा सारा कुछ. Because they came from some rich family, for example. So the criminal will pay some sort of money to the LN, that person or mediator, and he can take the data like that. That is one example. Website, अगर कोई है कॉलेज की, स्कूल की या डिपार्टमेंट की, गवर्नमेंट की, they find the vulnerability, they hack the website, they dump the data from there. Third, कोई अगर हम लोग प्रिंट आउट के लिए जाते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल, we have seen cyber cafes are there. People are giving their Aadhaar card, PAN card, and their numbers. So they do what, they also collect the information from there. So what is happening? Various mechanisms are there. Because when we search something for hotel booking, for purchasing goods, when we go to mall, they ask me, madam, आपके बिल आपको WhatsApp पे आ जाएगा, आप just give your number, हम आपको 20% discount मिल जाएगा, हम discount number. तो there are 1,000 ways where the number has been leaked or gone. अभी आप लोग मुझे मैसेज करोगे, मैं किसी ग्रुप में ऐड कर दूंगा आपको, तो उस ग्रुप में काफी लोग जुड़े होंगे. स्कूल के ग्रुप में, तो बहुत को पता भी नहीं है कि कौन क्या है, तो नंबर वहां से मिल रहे हैं. मतलब there are various mechanism where number can be, you can, a hacker or a user can get, or sometime what is happening, they don't know you. जैसे मेरा नंबर था 444 लास्ट में है, अगर मैं 444 के बाद 444 445 लगा दूं और अगर उसको सेंड करूं व्हाट्सएप पे, तो कोई ना कोई एग्जिस्ट करेगा. तो समटाइम्स दे डू रैंडम थिंग्स to send a mail or send WhatsApp like that. So number is a very common tactic to get this all information like that. I hope you got it right now.
Yes, sir. Yes. And sir, there are some various websites that they are providing numbers of big persons for many people are paying like 200, 300, 400 rupees to various websites to get the numbers of some kind of celebrities and others. So, sir, is it like true that they are providing that for free, or is it true that they all are giving that all details?
My dear friend, these are completely not true, not fake. मैं आपको real example दिखाता हूँ. चलो आप लोगों ने इतना interest दिखाया है तो, like we do have various information. Like this is a portal for us which we are using for intelligence and information. Suppose I want to search information about a number. Okay. Now I want to see exactly what is the things कि ये number है क्या. एक number के बारे में हमें डिटेल्स क्या क्या मिल सकती है, फ्रॉम पुलिस, फ्रॉम ओपन सोर्स, फ्रॉम डेटा ब्रीच. अभी अगर आप बिग बास्केट यूज करते हैं, अगर आप अमेज़न यूज करते हैं, अगर अमेज़न डेटा ब्रीच हुआ, ट्रू कॉलर डेटा ब्रीच हुआ, देन व्हाट हैपेंड? देन दिस कैन बी लीक्ड समवेयर, एंड दैट लीक डेटाबेस कैन एबल टू प्रोवाइड द इंफॉर्मेशन, शो द इंफॉर्मेशन, put the information, because they are scrapping the information. So what is happening? A number I search, that number linked with whom, we got it is geo, we got the address, we got the information, location, exactly where he live. We got to know what is the email ID. We got the internet number as well. We have seen it is the one Gmail ID. Similarly, we check about the WhatsApp data and his data available on where? Akash में है, Amazon में है, Alt में है. It is on Google. It is on Z5. अगर Z5 में सब्सक्रिप्शन ले रखा है तो Z5 से भी डेटा हमें मिल सकता है. G5. So now we'll send the notice from the police to Z5. Z5 में जो सब्सक्रिप्शन के लिए उसने UPI पेमेंट की. I'm telling you, number, connection, internet, OSINT, that can give more information about a person which is leaked somewhere. तो जो वेबसाइट प्रोवाइड करती हैं, हम जब उनको पे करते हैं, उनसे हमारा डेटा खुद चला जाता है पहले तो. हमारे डेटा को लेकर के वो सेकंड लेवल की जर्नी स्टार्ट करते हैं क्राइम को लेकर के. तो नथिंग इज फ्री. वो नॉर्मल डेटा प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं, समटाइम्स दे डू नॉट गिव रियल इंफॉर्मेशन लाइक.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. The class was really interesting and fruitful, sir. Sir, my question was, if social media and other apps keep an eye on us, how can we deal with it, and how can we use the intervention of the...
How to? I didn't get exactly.
Sir, the social media and other apps keep an eye on us. How can we reduce their intervention in our digital footprint and life?
So first of all, what is happening? Like we have to respect our privacy. One, for example, if we are putting our data on a platform and we are making it public, so this is our consent. So don't blame to Insta or Facebook or internet that my data has been breached or leaked. So use the proper privacy perspective information. Means like you have enabled and share such information which is relevant, which needs to be shared. That is one. Second, if any application asking permission, your geolocation or your contact details, then no need to give permission or no need to install that application even though which is there. So that's how you can able to prevent or protect. Use one number only, use one email ID, don't use multiple numbers, multiple email IDs, everything connected somewhere, we put something. So somehow that is the thing which we are leaking accidentally, rather we have to prevent from these kind of things like that. And as well, don't log in from multiple computers or devices. When you log in somewhere, it can work like that.
Thank you, sir.
Next question.
Good morning, sir.
I actually had a question in, like you recently mentioned about ethical and unethical hacking. So basically, as a class 7 student, I had earlier read that ethical hacking is used by the government as well. So does that mean that sometimes hacking can be used for good purposes as well, apart from bad
Definitely.
purposes?
आप मुझे बताओ कि suppose in your schools, what's the name? That Samriddhi, right?
Yes.
Samriddhi, suppose you you have to know about something about the cybercrime prevention. And now what you have done, you posted some content on your Instagram and maybe or maybe in your school. Helping political societies still helping like what I'm trying to say that they help the government to get information where what is happening, what is not happening. So yes, so hacking is not only to hack the website and get the information for the same.
Okay, so thank you so much.
Devansh, over to you.
Next, we have a demonstration on keyloggers by the students of the CyberX Club. In this kit, Arjun is an aspiring engineer, currently fighting a battle against his keyboard and his essay deadlines. To aid him, his friend Rahul gives him a little add-on that may help him. Little do they know, they might have ended his engineering dream unless they take the help of that tech-savvy friend Kabir.
This scholarship isn't just funding. ये मेरी फैमिली के लिए एक नया स्टार्ट है. इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ूंगा, कुछ रियल बिल्ड करूंगा.
Still battling that essay. तू टाइप करता है जैसे बॉम्ब डिफ्यूज कर रहा हो.
डेडलाइंस कर देती है ऐसा. फिंगर्स ब्रेन के पेस पे चल नहीं पाती.
Remember that free typing speed booster? फरम वाला रिव्यूज क्लीन थे, आज भी नहीं थे.
I installed it. चल रहा है. टाइपिंग फास्ट लग रही है.
बस स्कॉलरशिप ऐसा उड़ने वाला है. फ्यूचर इंजीनियरिंग कमिंग.
क्रिटिकल सिक्योरिटी अलर्ट. लॉगिन अटेम्प्ट फ्रॉम बुखारेस्ट रोमानिया. ये क्या? सेम टाइम जब मैं ऐसे टाइप कर रहा था. राहुल देखिए.
क्या हुआ?
ईमेल लॉगिन अटेम्प्ट. एग्जैक्ट पासवर्ड मैंने लास्ट में चेंज किया था. किसी को शेयर नहीं किया था.
देखो, keyboard service.exe, memory spike, data packet जा रहे हैं इसी यूरोप के डोमेन पे.
टाइपिंग टूल
नहीं, ये कीलॉगर है. इन्फो स्टीलर हर की रिकॉर्ड करता है. कभी स्क्रीनशॉट्स भी, पासवर्ड्स, ऐसे ही बैंक ट्रांसफर डिटेल्स सब.
मेरे स्कॉलरशिप पोर्टल लॉगिन अगर उन्होंने डिलीट कर दिया या बैंक मुझसे कर लिया तो पेरेंट्स ने सब सैक्रिफाइस किया है.
अभी पकड़ लिया है, डैमेज लिमिट करेंगे. कभी कॉल करते हैं.
Walk me through fake typing booster, keylogger, already emailed.
A classic 2026 backdrop. Free में बंद होता है. Info stealers जैसे एजेंट टेस्ला, स्नेक keylogger, credentials, cookies, crypto wallets सब ले जाते हैं. Ransomware files लॉक करता है, पर ये silently steal करता है.
पासवर्ड चेंज करने से भी कोई फायदा नहीं.
नहीं, अगर इन्फेक्टेड मशीन पे टाइप किया तो इंस्टेंटली कैप्चर हो जाता है. हार्डवेयर कीलॉगर्स भी होते हैं. यूएसबी डिवाइसेस पब्लिक क्लाउड्स में ये सॉफ्टवेयर लगता है.
आइडेंटिटी थेफ्ट, फेक एप्लीकेशंस मेरे नाम पे.
2025 to 26 में क्रेडेंशियल स्टफिंग ने मिलियंस को हिट किया है. एक पासवर्ड लीक से मल्टीपल अकाउंट खुल जाते हैं.
ये नहीं हो सकता.
तुम अहेड हो, अर्ली नोटिस किया है. मोस्ट विक्टिम्स को तो पता भी नहीं चलता.
Immediate steps: Wi-Fi disconnect, safe mode boot, full antivirus scan. अगर डीप है तो OS file में reinstall from a clean USB.
from a trusted, unaffected device can change every password. Use a password manager like Bitwarden or 1Password. Generate long, unique ones automatically.
MFA?
Mandatory phishing-resistant MFA, app-based or hardware keys like YubiKey or passkeys. SMS avoid karo. MFA blocks 99.9% of automated attacks.
Check all accounts for suspicious activity. Email rules, linked devices, and recent logins. Banking involved, hot credit fees.
Follow these cybersecurity essentials. Firstly, download wisely. Official stores only. Next, password manager always. Autofill, no typing. Phishing-resistant MFA, hardware keys or passkeys, virtual keyboard for sensitive entries. Vigilance, unknown processes, battery drain, network spikes. And last but not the least, regular backups and updates.
मुझे लगा साइबर थ्रेट सिर्फ कॉर्पोरेशन के लिए होता है. एक innocent download and my future almost went. Students, dreamers, everyday users, सब target हैं. Solution fancy tech नहीं, habits है. Awareness एक extra step.
और community, share करो, सिखाओ.
Stay sharp. Guard your keystrokes.
Protect your future. Starting
today.
Now, for our second session, we have a recorded message by Colonel Sarang Pedopsani, a senior officer in the Indian Army from 17th Sikh Battalion Tigers, who has served on multiple strategic appointments in the army, who is also the recipient of the prestigious Visht Seva Medal. Due to some reasons, he was unable to join us today, but was more than happy to send us a recorded message.
Hi, Arshia. Dr. Praveen has joined, so we'll be taking his session first. Amartya, can you please start out?
Yes, sir. Let us now move on to our second session with Dr. Praveen Kumar, an esteemed assistant professor of Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, will be giving a speech on From OTP Scams to Digital Arrests, Understanding Modern Cyber Frauds. He specializes in project management, cyber security, software development, and system integration, with significant experience in executing large-scale projects for government agencies, healthcare institutions, and research organizations. He has also played key roles in establishing advanced data centers and AI labs.
Good morning. My camera, yeah. Good morning to all.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. I am really pleased to have been part of this awareness camp or event that has been organized with an effort from the CyberX team, especially Sarika ma'am and the student leader Vivan and Arthaf and few others like the activities that I have gone through. I have joined at 10 and I'm just understanding the prospect, that is how the things have been evolving to till my session. So many things have been discussed by Om Prakash sir and also by Deepak sir related to various aspects of what we have to understand in terms of cyber prospect, like the cyber security, fraud, crime, and so on, the terminologies that we have gone through. So we will start with the prospect of cyber security and specifically toward the discussion on cyber fraud and crime. So there is a gap between talking about cyber crime and cyber fraud. So I will start my presentation with that prospect of talking about some keywords that needs to be understood well before talking about what we have in for discussion. So it's the terminology or the topic, the event name that we have chosen is quite significant. Surakshit Digital Bharat. That is what the aim of our prospect that we are looking from the various talks and various discussions. The prospect of how OTP and related activities leads to is my screen visible to all of you? Yes. 1 minute. Let me.
Yes, sir.
Make it in full screen format. Okay. So we have already done two talks talking about different prospect of what is digital platform, what kind of cyber prospect we need to understand. And well said by Deepak sir also in previous discussion that we need to have an awareness. And there is a terminology we try to utilize in this awareness, discussion, and reporting. So if we understand that, we are in much more safer situation as compared to what we are finding today, without any future like what to do next, a kind of strategy that is most of us don't know. We are in dark space. We don't know what to do, how to handle the situation. So the topic that I have to take up is talking about OTP scam to digital arrest, and something about what cyber fraud is all about. So let's start with the agenda that I have taken up for next 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We will try to understand the terminologies and the facts, the Panchatantra relevance in cyber fraud. Can we link our the strong wisdom of earlier time to what we are facing today, the cyber fraud? Then the prospect of victim vulnerability. Why we say that there is a vulnerability attached with the victim? Because of that, some fraudster, some cyber scammer has entered into that premise. We will also talk about modern cyber fraud, digital arrest prospect, OTP scam to digital arrest, a source prospect. We will try to understand like what are the various sources of moving from OTP scam to digital arrest. As few of you have raised a question like how these scammers, these fraudsters come to know about your credentials. So this is a very big question. And we find that the answers are there with our behavior, our way of doing things. Then we will talk about phishing, identity theft, online scams, and subsequently we will try to talk about the reducing initiatives that is there already by the government setups, and concluding with that. So what is cyber fraud? It is a subset of cyber crime. If I specifically try to explain you this, the crime talks about any different motive behind taking up something that is not legally been done or unauthorized been done through. So it is all about on any digital platform. If I talk about unauthorized access, data theft, online scams, everything is counted under a prospect and review of cybercrime. But when it is with the intention to financial gain by the fraudster or by creating a loss for the victim, I will talk about cyber fraud. Now, there are a few terminologies been defined. The framework that has been discussed by my earlier speaker. It is talking about big butchering, it is talking about phantom hacking, it is talking about online betting and gambling, and also about app and related services like the previous small sketch that has been shown by the students. They are talking about something called a kind of keyloggers. So it is to be classified under the fourth category where I am talking about apps and related services. So if you are taking any services which is free of cost, without any subscription, without any kind of transaction, it is something that you are having without any cost. Now something you have taken, it is more like an open source application that we are downloading. There is no cost attached. So if there is no cost, there is no responsibility also. So if something goes wrong, they are not being liable for it, or you cannot put them under constraint that something has happened because of your product. Right. So that is the prospect we need to understand when I'm talking about these four cyber frauds. So the first prospect, when we are talking about big butchering, in this the prospect is very clear. They lure you first. They will give you certain benefits, certain prospect, like a relation, like a job, like a friendliness, someone who can discuss with you about in length about your problem, your situation. Like they want to understand you. It can be human, it can be a virtual system also. So when we are moving into that scenario and to something unknown, we are talking about a problem of the first type. And in this, there is a very high chance that after they gain a trust, they will go for a kind of fraud prospect. Then we are talking about fan hacking, in which we are looking toward an authority prospect. Like as the previous speaker has already talked about, someone will impersonate in front of you saying that I'm from so-and-so authority, I'm from so-and-so department. Basis of that, they will try to give you certain fake or morphed document to just to validate their point, and then they go for their motive. The third prospect is the online betting and gambling, where we are having some kind of unauthorized platform. It is not authorized, as in India we don't have any law for, or we have recently done an act wherein we have prevented any kind of online betting or gambling prospect also. So when I'm talking about that, it is something that is unauthorized, and because of this, there are very high chances of having a fake or a kind of impersonation of anybody or any department related to this. They will catch your data, and basis of that, they will try to take away your fund or your revenue. Then we are talking about the last one, app and related services. As we have discussed, nothing is free. So in this case, anything that you are downloading, you need to be downloaded from the official site or somewhere from where you have a trust on. Let's talk about some facts that we are finding in today's time. Almost 86% of Indian households have internet connectivity under the Digital India mission. Now, this is very significant. The penetration of internet is there. It's almost, I will say, 86 means it's 90% approximately. Now, basis of this, every 9 out of 10 a household has an internet facility. So we have more hands, more space in this platform, and there is a more chance that we are talking about frauds and some kind of cybercrime. So the next prospect, every year we are doubling on the reported incident of cyber fraud. This is again very alarming prospect, that we have a huge number of incidents. So we need a big infrastructure to talk about it. We need very big infrastructure, law frameworks to handle this kind of issues. And every day we are finding a new incident, talking about a new modus operandi of handling different situations and trying to do different crimes. The next aspect, the Government of India prospect. I am talking about a department from where the previous speaker is belonging to, I4C, and they are into this. They are doing monitoring and controlling activity. Then we are talking about something called Samanvay platform, where we have an opportunity to register any cyber frauds. We have Sahyog, where we can talk about any kind of content highlighting. So all these are there in the mind when we talk about this content of OTP to digital arrest. Let's talk about the scenario of Panchatantra. You might have been already aware about this, or I'm sure you have gone through this story of a Brahmin and the crooks. And what we are finding in this story is very common and very known to all of us. But what is the takeaway we can take, we can make for today's cyber fraud is the first. We can talk about the morals of the story. The first is untruth spoken repeatedly appears to be true. Now here we have a thought, like the three crooks, they have one after another tried to convince you about a thing, and basis of that you are trapped. So we need to go for a vigilant prospect. That is what the understanding, what is the takeaway to make. Next prospect, we need to take a decision or a judgment basis of our own self instead of getting influenced by someone else, and that person need not be known to us. In that context, we are talking about CIT, which is confidentiality, integrity, and trust. So if there is no trust, we will not follow it. If there is no integrity, we will not obey it. If confidentiality is not being maintained, there is no point of thinking for it. So when I'm talking for all this, it means that judgment needs to be done on basis of that. And the last one, that the moral third that we can talk about is common sense. So we need to use our common sense. So how we derive the common sense, how we will enhance, enrich our common sense. That is where the awareness comes into picture. So everything and all that we can talk about in this scenario is, are we aware about the current situation? Are we have the awareness related to the incidents that are happening on day-to-day basis in different parts of the world? And can we learn from it? Can we create our own sense out of it, like what to do and what not to do? The basic ethics, the basic boundary line for ourselves in terms of cyber security and cyber fraud. Let's talk about the 8 different phases that are there in this picture. It is talking about how to enhance our security boundaries around us in terms of cyberspace. The first is confidentiality. We need to maintain it, and that is what the key for anyone to move to a social media platform or any cyberspace. We must not disclose ourselves. And to the point, we must try to be very specific and precise as per the requirement. This is the first point of contact with the fraudster, with anyone who is looking for some traps. So confidentiality is very important for all of us. We are using social media platform like anything. Every day we are posting 10 different posts on our social media account talking about what all we are doing on a day-to-day basis. From going and visiting an event to something talking about going to our personal engagements. We are displaying, we are disclosing everything online. That is where the confidentiality breach happens. The next aspect is the integrity. This is very questionable in today's time when AI has changed everything. It has transformed, or if I will say, it's something that has disrupted our prospect of integrity. Like the previous speaker has talked about many things, and one of them is like how to morph or do the deep fake with your images or videos. That is already been in use by different incidents that we come across. Next is about availability. This is very critical. The example that I will take up in the subsequent slide is talking about the OTP bombardment. And in this, the availability is at question mark. My whole bandwidth has been choked because of the OTP bombardment, because of certain other activity like some services are been running in my device. So I need to look into that. The accountability aspect. This is very critical from the prospect of our own self-ethics. We must have some kind of accountability for whatever we are doing and however we are doing. So when you are talking about like the one of the questions raised by you during the previous speaker discussion is the hacking aspect, whether it's ethical or unethical. Now the accountability is very important. If I'm trying out something just to learn, or am I trying out something for something to either disrupt or to create some kind of loss? So that is where the accountability is very important. So if I have posted a small content on my social media platform, it has been done by my account, it has been done by me, and that is where my accountability starts. So even though I have deleted it, I have removed it, I am not free from that accountability. That is what the prospect of accountability need to be understand from. The prospect of non-repudiation. This is something where a kind of traceability, or I will talk about the fingerprint prospect. I cannot deny something that I have done. Then we are talking about risk management. I need to take care of the risk prospect also. If I'm posting something, is there any risk attached? If I make myself aware about it, I am going to take a very precise steps toward it. I may not disclose everything. Like most of us, we try to float our certifications that we have done online. Now, that online platform is free for all. It is not binded by certain people, and it is free for all. That means what? We are creating a risk for ourselves. Our portfolio can be created by some phishing cybercrime person, and they may get into us, like they can ask you about something that you feel like that I have not disclosed it. So they may come to know that you are so and so person from so and so place. That is where the risk management needs to be done in both proactive manner and also in terms of knowing what we are floating on our social media platforms. Defense in depth. This is very critical for us. Means something like the password, as you have discussed. Any password limit is not secure enough. So we must go for multi-factor authentication. That is what the defense in depth needs to be talked about. In terms of the government, in terms of national prospect, I can talk about the frameworks and laws, and something to talk about the monitoring and controlling system needs to be there, and that is what the defense in depth talks about. Finally, the user education and awareness. This is where this Cypher X Club is talking about an awareness campaign handling the different prospect of cyber security. It is not only a cyber security. If I am aware about cyber security, I am ready with it. But what if there is a fraud happening? What if there is a crime? And every day we are finding a new pattern of crime. So when we are creating a regular, continuous education, we are talking about the user education and awareness prospect. So these are the 8 pointers that we have to take in care whenever we are looking toward cyber platforms or cyberspace. Now let's talk about some of the theoretical aspect that we need to understand in terms of victim vulnerability. Like as a victim, as a person who is under any kind of cyber fraud or crime, I need to understand what and how this has happened. So I have identified few theories talking about all this. The first and foremost theory talks about social engineering theory. Now this theory talks about human behavior and psychology. How a fraudster, a scammer can go in depth into your human behavior and psychology, and what is the touch point, digital touch point for them, your social media platform, your post, your engagement. And basis of that, they come to know your human behavior and your psychology. So when I'm talking about this, we are talking about the prospect of sensitive information. And basis of that, if I make you feel that you are doing something wrong, so when I reveal you some sensitive information related to you, I'm sure your action will change, because you will feel like that you have been catched by someone, right? So if you have opened an account on any of the platform, social media platform, and you have not disclosed, and all of a sudden you are receiving a call that you have opened a new account on this place, and you have done so many activities. Now this is something for you, as you are a user, you feel like, how come someone is aware about my activities? And this is where sensitive information, revealing of sensitive information is talking about what we are understanding from social engineering theory. So this is where a social media interaction is where we need to have a control on. So we must have our accountability on that. Like it is not only about what we are posting is relevant for others or not. It is also about, is it something that I am posting online is going to tell more about me, more than what I try to express? Or is it something that is very defined as per my requirement? I have only spoken about something and it is only telling about that much. So we are finding something like techniques like phishing, pretexting, batting for commit cyber frauds. All these are some of the techniques being utilized by the fraudsters in using this human behavior and psychological aspect. And with this kind of prospect, we are moving to a situation where urgency and fear taking over, and this is where the act of hostility comes into any human or a victim of that nature. So we are talking about social engineering theory. The next is the cognitive biasness, and in this we are trying to understand the three prospects: authority biasness, availability heuristic, and something called confirmation biasness. Now these are three different prospects. If someone comes to me saying that I am from so and so authority, like let's say I am from a cybercrime company or a cybercrime department, in that scenario, my prospect of authority biasness will increase. I will have a trust on that person, saying that the person is from an authority, and let's have a trust on that, and basis of that, the biasness may lead to cognitive problem. The next prospect is availability heuristic. And in this, if I am having lot many data information and something which is happening from last so many days, and if a new event happening during this course of time, a sequence of events if I talk about, my prospect of biasness is toward that. So I will be more inclined toward it as compared to taking up a very informed and radical prospect into that. The third one, when we are talking about authority biasness and the availability heuristic, we have a confirmation biasness. This is highly impacting us. If I start believing in something, there is a very high chance that I will perform the desired activity as defined by the person who is influencing me. So when we are looking into the cognitive biasness, we come across these three formats and parameters. Now, a vulnerable person, a person with a vulnerability may get influenced by any external if that person is having authority, if that person is having information more than you know or more than you have disclosed, or if that person is talking about a sequence of event. So if I talk about Panchatantra event, the story, it is three groups have periodically interacted with the person. And this is where I'm talking about confirmation biasness. This is where I'm talking about a prospect of how three different person talking about a false activity leads to a kind of trust. And this is where we are talking about cognitive biasness. The next one, planned behavior. And in this case, we are talking about a prospect of situation, subjective norms, or perceived behavioral control. Right? And when we are taking up this, we are looking toward a behavioral aspect. And when we are looking into that aspect, there is a high chance, there is a high vulnerability that we get influenced by any individual basis of the scenario. And this is where the exploit starts. The person who is exploiting us, the fraudster who is exploiting us, will try to encash this situation of planned behavioral prospect. We have the last one, which is talking about due process theory. Now in this, we all know that there are two ways of looking into anything. One is about intuitive and automatic thinking. The other prospect is that analytical and deliberate thinking. And we know that automatic thinking is fast, deliberate, and analytical thinking is comparatively not that fast. It takes time. It tries to analyze the situation basis of this. It will try to take up a conclusion on that. So as a prospect, as a fraudster, I think I will move towards system one people, or people with the system one prospect, like the people who have intuitive and automatic thinking. I will try to deliberately change their intuition, try to deliberately change their situations and give them a thought and thinking that they are in a wrong place or they are in a wrong situation. This is where an emotional prospect identify, and this is where the fraudster try to trap the people. So the victim is identified with the system one kind of thinking as compared to the prospect of thinking two types of type 2 prospect. And these are some of the theories that identify the real scenario why a victim is a victim. Right? So when I'm talking about all this, we are talking about three major things: human behavior, cognitive processes, and emotional response. And this is where the vulnerability lies. So if I'm looking from a victim prospect, a person who is like you and me, we all are part of the system, we are all part of our digital footprints. We are all regularly trying to access digital platforms. So I'm not saying that move away from it. What I'm trying to tell you is that just focus on the prospect that has been discussed, like your psychology, your human behavior, and something talking about your cognitive biases toward it. Now let's take a digital arrest example. And as the previous speaker has talked about many such examples, and I'm just quoting with the prospect to give you an understanding what has got wrong and how it has been carried away by the fraudster. So it is a story about, it is not a story, it's an event that has happened, I think 2 years back, by one of the deputy engineer, and you can understand what kind of profile that person might have. And she has been duped or defrauded with 3 lakhs of amount in one single day. That is what the story talks about. And it all initiated with the information that is reached to her, talking about a TRI and police scammers, talking about their Aadhaar and mobile number linkage. It is about a new SIM has been issued basis of the victim's Aadhaar and related mobile numbers. Now this is something which has been created by the fraudster basis of the behavior of the victim. Right? Now when this is highlighted to that person is now been in puzzled formation because they have talked about financial loss and some situation which needs to be understood. So what they have talked about, a digital arrest scenario where they have threatened the person not to contact anyone else, not to pick up any other call, not to talk anyone else. And that is where the digital arrest real scenario begins. Now, I'm not meeting physically with anybody, but there is a call coming to me saying that TRAI, which is an the mobile authority, they have asked me to verify the prospect or given me an allegation that you have used your Aadhaar to open or purchase a mobile SIM, and basis of that you are now your activities are now illegal, and basis of that they are putting a digital arrest prospect on me. Now how this happens, that is what the scenario we need to understand. So the scenario is like a digital arrest prospect, financial loss is 3 lakhs, investigations has been carrying on, and there is no end to it because there is no footprints, or I will say there is no evidence that will confirm that person X or Y is involved. So this is where we are talking about the prospect of the digital arrest and the Mahada's deputy engineer case. Now let's understand it in a cyclic fashion. The impact introduced. It is about the mobile authority. So it is a renowned place. It is a renowned organization which knows what is going on in mobile domain. So they know which SIM is connected with which Aadhaar card and so on. So this is the first trust point. Impactful introduction talks about this. You are impersonating as a Terry official. That is the next. The vulnerability aspect. Now Aadhaar is linked with a SIM, and that SIM is being utilized for some kind of obscene masses nationwide. Now this is a crime that has been created on your SIM, which you may or may not have, but this is a kind of confirmation basis of an authority who has been recognized across in the nation, and basis of this you are being now targeted with a crime. Now basis of this, they are also giving a threatening prospect of blocking the numbers and investigation by some other authority into this. Now the entry of the next entrant. So this is the first I will say contact point, and this is what the two intersection or two interaction happens with the victim. After this, a new entry, new person entered into the system. That person used WhatsApp calls and tried to confirm, give a conformity about own identity. Basis of this, the batch number is also been shown, video call has been done, and here the iCard has been morphed of that person. Basis of this, the identity can be, I will say, trust can be built even though the real, there is a fakeness in this. Basis of this, then the assertion about this, like the new entrant talks about the real big picture, 3,000 crores of money laundering case, and the person's name, and the bank account linkage, and the transaction. Now this is the transaction that may be possible that person has taken in last 1 year, possibly. Basis of this, now this is I will say the digital point or a fishing point that is there, which is going to give a confirmation to the victims that this is something which she has undertaken and this is what is linked with this. So a reconfirmation happened. Now, basis of this, they have also shown a URL. Try to read this URL. If you understand this URL, it is talking about gov.in without any dot. So the domain is now ougd.top, not this. So it is a subdomain name. But when I am in a kind of stress or fear, I will read it as an authenticated, and basis of this, I will try to put a number that has been given to me, and I will reconfirm myself. This can be done to you or to me psychologically, and the prospect is very clear that fear can lead to a wrongdoing. So the reconfirmation and payout being given to that person, saying that if you pay us some money of 3 lakhs, we will try to verify and return you this money back. This is the last one. And this is a payout which leads to a kind of transfer of the fund from this engineer to that fraudster account using a UPI bank accounts, multiple bank accounts in that case. So this is what it signifies, the digital arrest, the kind of problem that we are facing today. Every second or third person is talking about this, that there is a digital arrest issue happening. Now what it is all about? Isn't it a very sequence of event that is happening? Something like the Panchtantra event, if I try to correlate it. The same event is happening today in terms of digital platform. We are being trapped by multiple people talking about same thing in different format, different scenarios, and leads to some kind of a payout from ourselves in terms of fear, in terms of social, I will say, security prospect, or any other format that you can think for. Let's talk about some sources of digital arrest, that why and how the OTP scam to digital arrest is happening. And the first and foremost that we identify is related to the eruption of digital transaction or digital market. So we are finding year on year 16.3% growth is happening since 2017 to 2026-27. And this is a projected one, so we can think for what kind of scenario we are right now in. Basis of this, we can talk about the amount of I would say the amount of risk attached, and basis of which we are talking about OTP scam. The basis of which we are today talking about how OTP scam is leading to some kind of OTP bombardment. So you are nowadays you are not receiving a single or two OTPs. You are receiving a sequence of OTPs, and this is going to create a kind of psychological barrier in you to distinguish something which is false and something which is correct. This is what the motive of this. We are talking about the next, the prospect of different social media accounts. So I'm just quoting some of the accounts and their current scenario. This is the Facebook bar chart that is being shown to you, and every quarter it is trying to reduce these many accounts, trying to delete these many accounts, trying to I will say block these many accounts. So this is what the size of Facebook accounts and the size of action being taken by them. All are in thousands of accounts. So if I look into this, I'm finding every quarter there is a huge number of accounts being created and deleted by our governing agencies or our administrative agencies. We are also looking to PayPal, and this is something where most of the transactions are happening. And we are finding again the 4.5 billion fake accounts are being deleted. We are also looking to Twitter, where we find $60 million yearly SMS texts are being scammed or been done from the Twitter handle, and that's why they have placed some kind of blue tick and some other differentiation in terms of the accounts. We also find that in India there is almost 6.69 lakh SIM cards being blocked, and few like 1.32 lakh mobile handsets are being blocked from use. We are also finding Instagram, which is very popular in generations of yours, that we are finding almost 900 accounts of Instagrams are blocked. And these are not the common accounts, these are the accounts of influencers. So you can think how Instagrams are functioning and how the influencer has a role. So when I'm looking toward it, it's 900 accounts of influencers have been blocked in 2024. That is what the stats talks about. Now, what is the way prospect that we are looking to? So when I'm looking towards source, the source of cyber fraud is a two-way, like a voice-based or a SMS-based. Now, this text-based can be through a different medium. It can be through email, it can be through your mobile device, or it can be through any of the other social media platforms. And the voice is normally through WhatsApp or any of the internet-based services or your mobile handset, GSM handsets. So when we are looking to these sources, there is a threat for all of us. And this is where we are looking to how to handle it. Now let's talk about how to have managing these incidents, how to manage them. So there are a few bullet points and how India is doing at this moment of time. So we can talk about enhanced cybersecurity education and awareness program. So we are part of that. CyberXs are doing it in a very good manner, like talking about the real problem, real scenario, and having a multiple-faceted discussion on this. So we are also talking about promoting digital literacy and critical thinking. This is very important. We are talking about various handles that are being there from cyber agencies. They are calling it Cyber Ghost I4C. It's not 146, it's I4C. And they're talking about different digital platforms through which they can disseminate their information to the different stakeholders. The next one, enhanced psychological supports and counseling services. This is very critical because I have gone through while researching on the prospect of victim-based theory. I realized that there are few theories talking about what after this event, what after this fraud, what will be the life of that victim. And we realize that the person is having, if financial loss is overcome, then also there is a psychological barrier coming into the mind of that victim. Whether it's a company, whether it's an individual person or a group of person, people start feeling a threat. And that is where we are looking to have a psychological support and counseling services. Like the previous speaker has talked about the cybercrime prevention for women and child. This is something really critical area to concentrate on, because we find that most of the incidents are unaddressed or even not even been reported. So we must have a platform through which anyone wants to report their incident, they can report with and without disclosing themselves. That is what the freedom that one must get, and that is where this CCPWC and CCMPs are all talking about. The crisis management plans are already there. We are also talking about strengthening legal frameworks and enforcement. We are already having a good amount of acts now for handling such issues. Cyber fraud, cyber crime, any kind of prospect you can think for, and there is a law handling it. So we have DPP Act 2023. We have IT Act, which is already been there and implemented in 2000, and now we have implemented it in 2021, and also recently we come across where most of the social media platform, they are being given only 5 hours to react on any kind of content that is there on their platform. So what we are talking about, the legal framework and enforcement needs to be there, and that is what the aim of the government set up to establish it. We are also looking for enhanced online community moderating and monitoring. This is where I foresee it is something to get into a role. Like they are there 24/7, talking and handling different scenarios, monitoring, and also talking about how to handle it. Controlling aspect. So when I'm talking about I4C, it means integrated cyber crime control system. And in this, we are talking about a kind of control center in different part of the world or in different part of India, if that case, and try to integrate them so that if something happens in Guwahati, can be related with the Delhi or Mumbai or even in southern part of India. And that is what the prospect of this kind of integrated approach, because awareness can only be helping us, so we are more focusing on having awareness programs. So this screen that the bottom one, the URL, social media abuse that you most of you are aware about. This is where the platform where you can talk about your own cases or the victims' cases, and you can launch a real communication to the department saying that these things are happening in this part of the India. Let's talk about the next prospect: phishing, identity threats, and online scam. This is where I have taken this CAPS providers, and the prospect is very clear in this part. The prospect of what this the fraudster's prospect or the psychology behind fraudster needs to understand with, like how the fraudster is going to take up the aspect of managing medium of communication, messaging communication, which is being provided by some CAPS providers, and how they are going to handle this kind of traffic. Now, when I'm talking about this, the traffic choking, the previous earlier time, the modus operandi that have been used by fraudster to block the traffic, to block the bandwidth and bombard their own content is what is still going on. And they try to capture, seize the medium and the channel, and basis of that they try to push their own messages to the users. And in this context, they try to gain. Like if I have got a wrong URL for payment, you can think what will happen. Like I'm doing a transaction on any of the medium, like the e-commerce of Amazon, and during this period there is an OTP coming to me talking about go to this URL and do the transaction. Isn't it a very trust prospect, like a sequence of event? And if I try to click on that OTP, there is a high prospect that my fund will move to a new account. This is where this kind of phishing activities are happening. And this is not alone just a phishing, it is with theft of identity. So they are trapping the identity of CAPS and try to put their own identity into it. And this is how the new trend of online frauds are happening. Let's talk about the scenario, how to protect ourselves. This is for business and for individual also. First is that we need to have, or we need to understand the velocity of SMS, the OTP prospect if I talk about. We need to understand the cost of it on daily basis. Like what are the OTPs that are coming to me, SMSs that are coming to me. I need to have accountability of it. If I'm an individual, I must look into my device saying that how many OTPs I've got. Are these the OTPs that I'm interacting with, or is it some fake OTPs also coming to me? Then the third is about restriction. We must have a defined name for these. Like if my contact persons are calling me, their name must be there. So if I'm having contact list, all OTPs coming from my own contact must be there. The recent mobile service provider, they have also worked greatly into this area of preventing you from any kind of scam. What they have given facility now, free of cost, is to provide you a AI-driven contact identification, and also to categorize the scammers from non-scam or from your own useful SMSs. Basis of this, we are preventing ourselves from any kind of frauds. The next aspect, then the prospect of our own customer or our relatives. If I don't have anyone in, let's say, any part of the world, and if the calls are coming from that part, I must have an alert in my mind. That is what I'm talking about, self-consciousness. We must have an alert in our mind saying that there is no person from that part of the world. How come these calls are coming? So if that call is coming, if you are attending it, that's fine, but the trust level must be at the very bottom stage. That is where the prospect of the scam getting reduced. So it is more about knowing, right? Next is about then we are talking about repetition of event, a pattern. Like every day I'm getting a call from some X number, and they are talking about something related to my activity on day-to-day basis. Isn't it a very confidentiality breach? That is where I try to understand and earmark these numbers and try to have a kind of decision or at least alertness toward them. And this is what the pattern of phishing prevention, identity thefts, and online scamming can be preventable by any of this. Let's talk about few vigilant prospects that we have come across. I've just quoted 1, 2, 3 prospect. One is the SDFC Digital Arrest Awareness Scam, and they are regularly giving you messages from different medium, whether it's newspaper or online or your account based. They are publishing you mailers talking about don't take calls other than 1600, as this is a toll-free number defined for their service. Now similarly, if I talk about Sanchit portal, this is a government initiative, this is an RBI initiative talking about how and when or what to do next. Like if there is some problem, if you are under some fraud, what to do next. So this is a Sanchit portal where you can place your complaint and you can track it also. So all these are transferring their calls and their controls to I4C. That is what the prospect of having a national framework, national monitoring system through which we can control any kind of menace that is happening in this part of the world. Then similarly, we also have to contact and report. That is what is very critical. We must pass on the information to our near and then subsequently plan for reporting. This is very critical. We must not say my loss is small, let's ignore it. Ignorance is something leads to a very big problem in future. So when you are aware that there is happening, something happened to you, you go for a deterrent prospect, go for giving them a confirmation on our national portals. Then we are talking about the prospect of the report suspect frauds. There are various ways to go for it. We have voice calls, SMS, and we can report it to telecom companies related to this. We also must prevent ourselves from sharing any kind of details to anybody other than any of the reliable sources. And this can be something like your own relatives and not beyond it. The bank never asks for it. That is what the point that we need to know. Then we are also need to understand about app installation. And when we are talking about this one, we need to understand that any app is not good. And when we are thinking for that, the app related to our requirement, the app belongs to our own department or a bank or any kind of setup, we must only install the official applications to our devices. Right? It is not a one-time installation and uninstallation. It is about sharing your information, like asking some strangers to move into your house and then letting them go. So everything is being captured by that stranger. When we are talking about UPI IDs, this is very critical for us. Re-verify your UPI ID on which you are making the payment. You can ask that person about the name confirmation also. Like a QR code is in front. If you're scanning it with any of the QR code scanners, just take the confirmation of the name. That is very critical in today's time, because many times we find that the amount has been transferred to some other account instead of that account. We are also looking towards some luring offerings, talking about the benefits in terms of investment, in terms of something called job offerings, in terms of courses, as what the previous speaker has talked about. Someone is offering you a course. Now, choosing that course, if it is free of cost, what kind of prospect you need to look for? Is your details are being exposed? Is your information are being shared, and so on? You need to think for that. Now, the last one is the URL utility that we normally avoid using. Like anyone is sharing a URL on a message or email, try to avoid using it. Don't click on that, because that is going to take away your personal information banking information from your device to the next person's device. All these are something that can be preventable, and basis of this, we can say that vigilance is a very important prospect for any kind of deterrence. Thank you very much. I think I have done with my content. Anything from your side that you want to ask for?
Sir, I have a question. Indeed, it was a very, very interesting session. Now, it's a very small query because, we adults do understand. What it costs us if we share our documents so religiously, everywhere on the social media platform. But if I put it on to children, how safe it is for the children to share their ID cards if somebody is asking them on the social media platform? And what should they not do? If you can just comment on that, please. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am, for this question. Like, this is very significantly been observed by most of us. I will just cite few examples. I'm planning for a summer vacation. So I have placed a photo picture of my family going out to some place. Now this is on a social media platform I have placed, and there is a theft after I leave the place. There is a theft in my house. Now this is a very common clue, that is the digital fingerprint that we are sharing with any of the unknowns. Like your social media is not very closed space. It is open for all. I can view your content, you can view my content also. Now when you are talking about your individual identity and your individual certificate and details, this is again can be used in any format. Like ID card may be morphed. ID card details can be utilized by any unknown person to enter in your premise, like in your school, for example. You cannot make them, like we have seen the Aadhaar is also copied. Even when we verified, we found that it is wrong, but it can be copied, and it can be easily. Like if you go to any of the LLM platform, you can ask for create an iCard for me of so and so department. It will create for you. Now this is what? This is something which is going to be a reason for you sharing your details. Like how the LLM comes to know that this iCard belongs to this place. There must be certain data document from the social media platform, and basis of that tag, it has created your iCard. So if I try to share my identity card on any social media to any unknown, for that matter, that is where I'm talking about vigilance. We need to be very vigilant on what I am sharing, the accountability, the 8 steps that I have discussed. If I am very vigilant, I am aware about what steps I am taking, and if I am confident enough, then only I must go for it. So social media is something unknown prospect for you. You don't know personally who I am, right? So when you are sharing anything, your personal detail, there is a very high chance that this personal detail can be utilized by your the other end person for their benefit, psychological utility, human behavior utility, and so on. We have already discussed about different facets of human behavior. Yeah. I think I have answered prospect of it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other query? Okay, with this, I would like to thank you, the team, CyberX. It's a great initiative, and this is something is the need of our. We all must appreciate this kind of initiative. Reason being that the awareness is only key to our safety. If I'm aware about situations, scenarios, then only I will have more knowledgeable or informed decision related to it. That is what the say that we need to understand, and that is what the Panchatantra story is also talking about it. So thank you very much, Sarika ma'am, and the student leaders and the student in this virtual place. Thank you very much for patiently listening to my thoughts. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your for elevating our perspective with such a thought-provoking speech. Knowing our own vulnerabilities is very important to be cyber aware and cyber secure.
And now, the students of the CyberX Club shall demonstrate DDoS attacks in the real world.
Hello and good evening. My name is Agastya and I am a student at Delhi College School RKP and a member of the club CyberX, the Cyber Security Club of DK's RKP. Now, today, I will be presenting this DDoS attack simulator. In layman terms, a DDoS attack is just a traffic jam that comes suddenly and blocks actual traffic and commuters from accessing the website or server that's here. So let's focus on the simulator at hand. Please note this is for educational use only and made by CyberX. In DDoS attacks, before that actually, you will see a client who is trying to access a website or server, and they will send a request. This is a valid request and will not be declined. On our screen, we have three clients, client A, client B, and client C, and our main server. The dots you see flying away to the server are the requests or other packets, as you can see here. Now, let's start an attack. Let's take the intensity up to 3 and the speed up to 2. Currently, we have disabled the firewall. The red dots that you see are the bots. These bots, also known as botnets, are sending requests that are fake, whose lag and crash out the server. As you can see here, the total number of packets being sent is increasing, and the bot loads are currently 26. The server load is slowly increasing. We are at high load, and as you can see, the server is taking a lot of strain. Now, the server has crashed. So how can one come back from such a situation? Well, they can activate a firewall. The firewall blocks out as many invalid packets it can so as to prevent the server from being lagged out. You will see the total number of blocked packets increasing with the number of packets. Of course, some actual DDoS attacks can say pass through, but not enough to actually damage the daily functioning of the server. There are multiple types of DDoS attacks, such as UPD, SYN, HTTP, and many more. For HTTP, for example, they are harder to identify than botnets and can actually pass through the firewall. But generally they don't, since most DDoS attacks are now very outdated. A proper firewall with a cloud base can easily keep your website and server secure. I hope you enjoy.